back to another episode of Enter the Nerdom. I'm here with co-hosts
Stan Morte
and Watson Bradshaw,
and I'm obviously Chad Cook.
With
I
the
like
long
the pause
pause.
there.
Long pause.
Yeah.
It's got to give that more emphasis.
Yeah, exactly. I would start off, I guess. We heard the news that Harris Yulin passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
He was He's been in a million things.
Most notably, for myself,
For a lot of
Ghostbusters
us,
2.
Yeah.
The Hammer, nicknamed the Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the Scolari brothers are. I don't know. I thought I was gonna say something funny there, but then I was like, maybe that's poor taste. I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. R.I.P. to.
It's a good thing you didn't mention anything about it.
Yeah.
Better what? The
About-
Scolari brothers.
Yeah. it's
it's
part of his work.
It's honoring the guy's work.
Yeah, he was also in Scarface. He played the corrupt cop in
Oh, yeah.
Scarface.
Oh,
remember?
wow,
He's
yeah.
like, what are you going to do, Tony? You going to shoot a cop? Hey, Mel, you a
Come
piece of
on.
shit. Yeah. And he shoots him.
I could fix this.
I can figure, yeah.
Or was he the cop who asked, like, how'd you get that scar on your face?
No, that
he
was like
wasn't
an
him either.
immigration
Yeah.
agent. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he was there in that
Yeah.
scene, too. But
How am I going to get a scar like that eating pineapple? That's the edited version. That's the TV version.
Most of us grew up on.
That's not what they say originally.
Also, R.I.P. to Brian Wilson.
That's right.
From,
I know.
Beach
yeah,
Boys.
Beach Boys, yeah. But those guys are huge contributors to
Yes.
pop culture in general and our childhoods, and so thank you and for everything, gentlemen, and rest in peace.
Yeah.
Speaking of nostalgic things, we recently went to NostalgiaCon.
That's right.
As
we did.
as a podcast, as a
Yes.
group. We had a booth at NostalgiaCon for 3 days. We've been talking about it a lot on the podcast itself. Come see us 6th, 7th, 8th down at Pasadena, Anaheim. Yeah, I almost said Pasadena. Because we did Pasadena Comic Con as well.
Mm-hmm. It's been a busy month.
It's been a busy month, yeah. And so we had a booth down in Anaheim. We had a sign. We had our huge banner. We had water to give away with our logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Candy. We had free comic books. And, of course, we had a raffle every day, with our major raffle being on Saturday. Grand prize was Hogwarts Legacy for PS5, the video game. And then thanks to Julie, my girlfriend, she donated a Loungefly.
Yeah, shout out, Julie. Thank you,
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
contributing.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks again. She had a Loungefly Turtle Van bag.
Mm-hmm.
And we separated the prizes. We had a bunch of figures, Flash figures, Batman, Blue Beetle, some Arrow figures that were pretty popular. And
The turtle van had the working headlights.
It had
It's
yeah,
a
exactly.
fun little feature.
It was awesome. And then you see the side doors open, and you can see April in there.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So that was.
I should have just took it.
See, walk around the Loungefly bag, dude.
There
You
go.
look good with it.
I don't know. At least I would wear it like a backpack and put an extra strap on it.
I was about to say you can't wear it like that, but yeah, it's a purse.
I mean, I could wear
It's
it.
one of Loungefly's few things it's not on a backpack.
Oh,
It's an
because
actual
most of
purse.
the things can
Yeah.
convert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you add to a little extra hinges on the bottom and the pins, and then you put another strap there. And,
There you
turn
go.
it into a little backpack.
There you go.
Yeah.
I guess.
A lot of extra work for such a small thing, but
It sounds like there's a lot of
somebody's got to do it though.
Okay.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think
Cowabunga.
you look good.
Yeah, cowabunga.
Yeah, cowabunga.
Yeah.
Just
You wouldn't wear one strap across your chest? People doing that now. Guys are doing that. They're carrying.
Yeah.
No,
like,
yeah.
man purses.
Hey, Jack Bauer did it.
Yeah.
With his messenger bag.
That's right.
You know?
Did he? Is he the mess? Is he brought?
He's the first guy. No, there
He
was.
brought it to style.
There's the '90s dads. Were going to run into work in their openings of the TV show. With
Oh, yeah.
I got her.
They always
got
got
their bag
have
and
the
yeah.
sling
Those are
bag
messenger bags, though. It's not a purse
Okay.
per se.
All right,
per se.
See,
I know what you
pun
did there.
intended. I know. Thank you. Thank you. I'm bowing as we speak. But yeah, Loungefly bag was the
Golf clap.
quiet. Can we get like a small clap?
A slow clap, even?
Slow clap. Excuse me. Okay, that's
Oh, all right.
that's killing our audio.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's They're sleeping right now.
Yeah. So the grand prize was the PS5 video game, the Hogwarts Legacy, and then we had a separate grand prize for there was 2 raffles in one
Mm-hmm.
for the Loungefly bag, and then some plushies, Lady and the Tramp plushies that our friend Dan gave us, and then we had a Barbie Blu-ray for the second tier prize for that raffle.
I just thought the whole time we could have been doing jokes. Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire because they're getting tickets for the Harry Potter game? Hogwarts Legacy. So
because
Goblet of Fire. Did you?
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for thinking of that now.
Well, I mean, it didn't pop in my head until now.
Come on, man.
Plus, I think they would have been a little afraid if I yelled at them like Michael Gambon did. Did you put your name in the Bible? Even though in the book it's different.
People have just been running away from our booth.
It was a very unique take in the movie.
Yeah,
it's true.
It was interesting. That's true. I'm surprised they went with it.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do for the TV show now.
Yeah, it'll be a whisper this time.
ASMR.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
Or
let's not do it now. So
No.
what people
No,
say,
yeah.
So 2 separate. We didn't say this, but it was if people look closely, they might think it's a male and feminine prize raffle. We didn't say that, but if people saw it, that's what they would think, because most of the stuff that was behind the Hogwarts Legacy video game was a lot of action figures.
Yeah, a lot more.
Well, that's why
chances
you're
to get
testing those turtle fans even more.
Exactly.
Are they willing to risk it on there's fewer prizes in that pot, so they would have to be like
people wanted that bag.
People wanted that
And
bag.
there was a lot of guys I think didn't think we were going to go for the bag who did go for
they
the
were
bag.
like, "Ooh, that bag though."
The bag was good, yeah. And the raffle was. I thought so we did a raffle every day. We did a small one on Friday. I didn't think a lot of people were going to participate. I think what did we end up giving out on Friday? Was
on Friday?
It was there's like 2 figures, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. No, I think it was 3.
That's right.
3
it was 3.
figures,
Yeah. 3 small figures we gave out on Friday. Oh, that's right. We gave out a Batman and
it was the
set,
Green Lantern set,
Wonder Woman,
and then
Supergirl. Yeah.
And then there was the Batman little set there.
Yeah, and so we gave that out on Friday. I didn't think people were going to participate.
Mm-hmm.
We had participation. Then we had a smaller raffle on Sunday, which was just 3 smaller figures.
Yeah.
I didn't think people were going to participate on Friday or Sunday, but we actually had a good turnout.
We had a great turnout, yeah.
I mean, when free things are involved,
that's true. Yeah.
And the least amount of work has to be done, except show up.
That's it. Which a lot of people didn't even do that.
Press a button on your phone. I mean, who's not going to try?
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people entered and either forgot about it or they were busy with because they were running
stuck in lines
and stuff.
Well, a lot of people came up every day after the raffle and came up. Did I miss a raffle?
Like,
It's like, I was in a panel or I was in line to get something signed.
It's like, come back tomorrow.
Exactly.
Do it again.
Yeah.
That's why we need to steal those buzzer things from Olive Garden and just hand them out to people.
We'd have to give a lot of them out.
We'd have to go to a couple Olive Gardens to get.
I mean, I think we had probably over 100 entries for Saturday.
It's for Saturday for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because
I was just like at Pasadena Comic-Con, I was just kind of going through tickets.
Yeah.
Because you have to be present to win. So I pick a number, call it out twice, give people some time to, chance to, if they didn't hear it the first or second time, and then I'd move on. Mm-hmm. And I went through a lot of tickets. At one point, I probably went through almost a dozen tickets.
Yeah, it was it was a long giveaway.
It was a long giveaway, yeah. But we had a good turnout Saturday for the.
It was huge.
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 Do you guys think it was bigger than the one we did at Pasadena Comic-Con last year, the raffle? The turnout, do you think?
I don't know. That was pretty big.
That one was big.
But I think, yet again, it was location with that one because we were close to the signing area. Mm-hmm. So everyone kind of was walking by, and we were right by the certification booth.
Right.
So I think everyone who was walking by kind of was like, oh, what's going on here? Let's sign up for this raffle.
That was also a very enthusiastic crowd, the first one.
Yeah.
From Pasadena Comic-Con last year. Because we call it a number 2, 3, 1, it was great, yeah.
And this year Pasadena being in Artist Alley was a lot more chill than being on the main floor. And then for NostalgiaCon was very interesting because I felt like it was very much about the signing stuff. Like they had
very
3 or 4 rows of people
let's talk about the con itself,
and not so much booth activity.
Yeah.
So not even that much. They had some Artist Alley stuff, kind of they had artists along the the perimeter of the the exterior of the booths, but there wasn't a whole lot.
Wasn't a ton, yeah. I mean, let's talk about because we had talked about how stacked the the guest list was to get your stuff signed.
Yeah, it was a huge list.
A lot of people showed up.
Man, It was, I mean, really some amazing talent there for signing stuff. I got some stuff signed. I know you guys did.
What'd you guys get?
I got a cow and chicken picture signed by Charlie Adler, and I got a picture with him as well. And then I got a picture with Carlos Alzraki in a separate thing, and Carlos is the voice of Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
And he's also from Reading 911. He's Officer Garcia.
Yeah.
He's also the if you're old enough like us, you'd know he was the voice of the Taco Bell dog, Chihuahua.
Oh wow.
And then I'm blanking. There's another. Cat dog. I forget the character's name, but he's like, "Hey, cat dog, he sounds like this." It's very similar to Rocco, but it's like
it's funny because it's very different than his Reno 911.
Yeah, no,
character.
he gets that southern, type of character going for that. But he was fun to talk to, and then Charlie Adler, he does the voices of Cow and Chicken, and so many other ones. One of my favorites he's done over the years was his version of Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe Resolute, which was like a much more serious Cobra.
Yeah.
And it was great. But he carried that voice to the TV show G.I. Joe Renegades. And it was just the same voice, but it was just such a great performance.
I like
really
Renegades a lot. It was very much like A-Team.
Yeah, no, I was like, that's a solution for them to do a movie if they can't write a regular G.I. Joe movie. Yeah, because
you can't have 30 characters.
Yeah, but I mean, like, people have done team movies where it's different location things are happening, so it shouldn't be that difficult. That's why I'm like, I think James Wan is supposed to be doing one at some point. Wow. Or that's what I heard. I don't know if
they did a tease of the last Transformers movie, where when one of the main human character shows up to a bunker basically, and then they get handed a card with the G.I. Joe logo on there.
I was like, why don't you do a good G.I. Joe movie before you start
trying to do a crossover
Transformers?
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm hoping something might better come along that way, but no, both of them were really fun, and that's who I got signed.
Would you get signed?
I got to meet Ernie Reyes Jr., who played Donatello in Secret of the Ooze. Okay. He also played Kino, the hip hop badass pizza boy that we all love.
Yes.
So, and he's in The Rundown. He's in Surf Ninjas. He's in a million other things.
Ninjas, yeah.
Fantastic.
He's in the Nathan Fillion Uncharted fan film.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the bad guy in that.
Yeah, he's great. And he was super nice, awesome, and saw my Kino action figure.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Was he surprised to see it?
He was like, oh my god, like, because it was from NECA, like, store exclusive kind of thing. Like, it was for like San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, was the set, and it was up on their site for like a day. It was in a pizza box, and it came with like a Ray's Pizza T-shirt and like Kino's like Employee of the Month tag kind of thing.
That's awesome.
It came with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
So,
we should have inside the pizza box.
I didn't think about that. I just brought it. I wanted to also keep it in my luggage and not carry the whole box.
True. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But
we had limited space in the truck.
And he was like, "Did you get one that the shirt fit?" And I was like, "No." It was all that was left was like the double XL by the time I ordered. Yeah. So I have a giant Ray's Pizza shirt at home. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but you know.
Hey, it's something.
Yeah.
Should have had him sign that.
Oh man, yeah. Well,
no,
I didn't think about that, did I?
Who I would love to show up at one of those things, but I doubt he would, because I don't even know if he does anything anymore. Is the kid who played Danny in the first movie, like just to get something signed by him?
Yeah.
Like,
it'd be interesting.
That guy disappeared, huh?
Yeah, like during the pandemic, the reunion thing they had online for
he was
Turtles.
on there?
No, he wasn't there. So I was just like, I don't think the dad was there either. So yeah, I was just like, oh, that'd be cool to have them show up at just be like.
I mean, TurtleCon is coming up like this month.
I'd be like, do you still have that Sid Vicious shirt?
Oh my god!
Because I don't want to pay a lot for an Etsy version.
Yeah, that shirt's cost a lot.
Yeah, I was just like, I need it for a costume for Halloween.
How much are they on Etsy?
I don't know. It was like upwards of $80 or something. But someone makes them, so it's not like an easy print job.
Yeah.
Because it's like a tie-dye with his like face on. I mean, he wore two kind of shirts, but the most significant one is the yellow tie-dye.
It's the one that's on the action figure.
Yeah. And then I'd get the doji band to wear it and probably a fake red wig just to put on my head.
It was funny because when I was in like high school, I had like a bunch of Sid Vicious shirts because I was, I was a big Sex Pistols punk rock kid. So, like, damn, yeah, wish I had that too. But yeah, I don't know why he's not doing the con circuit and stuff like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Same with Lieutenant Stern.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if he's alive anymore.
Yeah, he might not. Yeah.
He might be.
But we need that action figure.
No, you know who we need? We need the guy coiling the wire. 2 seconds or 2 minutes. The new record.
the ponytail guy.
No, he was like, I think he secretly worked for the Foot.
Yeah. He's the one that
he wasn't wearing a ponytail.
He didn't have a ponytail.
No.
I don't. Yeah.
I think he had a hat on, but he was just like, yeah.
How about you? Anyone you?
Yeah, I got William Daniels.
Jeez.
Picture with William Daniels, and I got a signature from him. So for those of you who don't know, and if you don't know who that is, what do you listen to this podcast for? I
mean, don't say that. Like,
yeah, I forgot. I got something signed by William Daniels too.
There you see.
Yeah.
I got a picture with him. That's Mr. Feeney. He's also the voice of Kit.
Yeah.
On Knight Rider. 2 huge roles that I grew up with. I grew up watching Knight Rider.
Yeah.
And obviously, Boy Meets World, played Mr. Feeney on that. So I got there pretty early. He still hadn't gotten there yet. So I was like, okay, I still got some time. We were going to do a raffle on Friday. And we had said 3 o'clock originally, which is our original raffles for the ones we've done in the past. But we had gotten there kind of late, so we got there like noon or something like that. So it wasn't a ton of time to pass out tickets.
In between noon and 1 somewhere.
But we still had a good amount of tickets on Friday, so we showed up, whatever, and getting down closer and closer to the time. And so Chad hits me up and it was like, hey, you gonna come back here soon? I mean, I said I'm in line to see him, and he's like, just try to get back before the raffle time starts. And I was like, oh shit, we're about to push it back before, dude. Because I got there, he still wasn't there. Like they had said a certain time, but he didn't show up until like half hour later, And then they took a good amount of time to actually set the booth up. So finally, by the time we got up there, and then they had a bunch of people who were had VIP passes, who were like cutting us, doing that thing. So they like let one regular, pass holder go and take a spin, and then they let 2 VIP people cut in front of us, that kind of shit.
Geez.
So I was like, oh, come on. Finally get up there, and, he's I think he's like 97 now, 98. Looking kind of tired. There? Yeah, but he's still, he's still very sharp. People were trying to talk to him, and he was like getting like upset. He was like, I can't hear you. Speak up. And, like yelling at people. It was like, oh, it's still Mr. Feeney. Still Mr. Feeney. So finally got up there, took a picture with him. I wanted to have him sign maybe the Knight Rider picture they had, but to get a picture and get a signed picture that he had on his desk was $100.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? It's William Daniels. When it was cool that when he first got up to the booth, people started clapping. All the people were in line to clap for him. It was really nice, and he smiled at us. But I told him he was in the Army. He got drafted, and he was in World War II. And I told him, I was in the Army too, and we used to watch Knight Rider all the time, especially after missions in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he goes, is that what you're supposed to be doing? He's like, you're supposed to be protecting us. And I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he just laughed, and he asked me where I was stationed. I said, I told him where, and he's like, he couldn't really remember where he was stationed. He said, yeah, couldn't recall the name of it too well. But
I don't remember where. I just remember how many Nazis I killed.
Yeah. He was I don't know if he ever actually left the States. He was a DJ. That's what he got.
I still killed Nazis.
Yeah, still killed Nazis. Now that's his cover.
To this day.
Yeah, he was
a
secret DJ.
Yeah. The entire time
welcome to the party, everyone.
And he just brings out the flamethrower. And he fucking barbecues all the Nazis, dude.
But it would be just the music of the 50s, like
a big brand, big band. Yeah. And
he's got a machine gun and his trumpet.
Yeah, his trumpet. He's just secretly hunting Nazis in the States as his covers as just a DJ.
That'd be a funny cut if someone took an episode of Boy Meets World, and if there's a shot of him pondering, looking up, just thinking or something, and then they zoom in and it cuts to World War II of him just
mowing down Nazis. Yeah.
That'd be great.
And but it was a lot of fun talking to him, and he seemed definitely seemed tired to be there.
Yeah.
Especially going into Sunday, but he was still very active with people and still interacting with people. So
I mean, geez, 90, 98, 97?
97, 98, something like that. That's definitely 97.
Yeah.
So
I'd be like, don't take me outside.
I know, yeah.
Leave me in my house.
Did he have any tats on his arm?
Yeah, all the kills he's done. Each kill.
Well, not even like after a while, I'm sure.
It's like Killmonger and Black Panther. He's just got markings all
everywhere.
Well, like even just like a regular tattoo. Over the years, I'm sure. I don't know. You know, people from I forget what age he would have been then, but like their sensibilities to get tattoos. It depends, of how they were brought up. So I was just wondering, like maybe he's got like a.
Pretty sure he doesn't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not even like a big old Donald Duck on his arms. Like, I love Donald Duck.
Woody the Woodpecker.
Or what was the in World War II they painted like a face on.
Oh yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Kildorf was here, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something was here.
He just has that on his arm.
Kilgore was here. Yeah. Kilgore was here. Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah.
Like on his neck actually. Yeah.
He's got the Eastern Promises. Of Viggo Mortensen was pointing to his neck.
No, he's actually got like a line around his neck cut here.
Oh, God. Jesus.
It's like, Jesus, Mr. Fiend.
Jeez, it's dark. It's like, return your
resuscitate on his chest.
Don't forget to return your library books.
Class dismissed.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to meet him in person. Took a picture with him. He had a long line Friday, Saturday. By Sunday, there was not that many people there.
Mm-hmm.
He brought his wife was there too, and she's a big actress as well. So she was there for signing some of her stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It's the only money I spent in terms of like an actual booth because
lucky you.
Yeah, well, I went there because I was like, I'm going there to stand on business. I'm gonna be. If you guys didn't see us at NostalgiaCon, I'm a shameless self-promoter for the podcast. I stand outside of the booth. And as people walk by, I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? How's it going? We're into the Nerdom. Come on over, And I talk to him about what we're doing. Talk to him about the raffle, our giveaway items, and just trying to get that.
He's going into the spiel right now.
Going right now. Going right now.
You can see his eyes go all the way back like a
shark.
Like a shark, and then he just goes into the spiel.
How you doing? We're into the Nerdom. We're a nerd podcast. We talk about everything nerd. Today at 4 o'clock, we'll be raffling all of these items off on this metal table here. Wow. Our grand prize.
It's like I'm right there.
Yeah, our grand prize. You threw me off, goddamn. See, you were doing that during the fucking convention too. Our grand prize will be the Hogwarts Legacy video game for PS5, and the other raffle will be the Loungefly Turtle Van bag. If you want a raffle, just go ahead and give us a follow on any of our social medias. We also have free pins, water, candy, and free comic books. Go ahead and help yourselves and check us out. Thank you very much. And then as they walk by, hey, how you doing? We're into the Nerd. And a lot of people be like, oh, okay, thank you. And they keep walking. And as soon as they walk out, I'll be like,
at least they say thank you.
That's No, everyone there was super nice.
Yeah, everyone was super nice. Yeah.
But no one spit on you and was like, no one get out of here.
Yeah. No one was rude. It was all good.
Yeah.
So we were able to get our main goal was to get followers on our social media and our Spotify. So we
get the word out there.
Get the word out. Yeah. So we got well over 200 followers. Something like
absolutely. Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone that came out, said hi, give us a follow, give us a shout out.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us, it's the first time or something. Welcome. Thank you again for giving us a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you've just been infected with the Nerdom virus.
Mind virus.
Mind virus. There we go.
Much like a tapeworm. We'll get right into your guts.
We're going to feast on it, all the nerdy stuff.
Num, num, num,
in
num,
your...
Where do you think Kennedy got...
sorry. I forgot the part of the brain I was thinking.
Cerebrum?
No, it started with an M, but I don't remember now.
Where do you think Kennedy got his brainworms from? Right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right here. We infected him. And now he's a huge follower of ours. It's weird.
But I was just commenting on lucky you didn't spend any money because Chad and I think, are in the poorhouse for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I went there specifically just because I just wanted to man the booth and I didn't even walk around until Sunday after the last raffle we did.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to concentrate on that. And I knew that if I walked around, after the last raffle on Sunday when it was probably 2 hours before we left, and I did my final let me actually check out the con.
Yeah,
I saw that William Daniels was still there and he had nobody in his line, so I actually walked around some of the booths okay, if they have any Knight Rider stuff, it's a sign. I'm gonna buy it and have him sign it, even though it's $60. You know, because I wanted it. I was thinking of like when I got the picture signed, it's him and the entire cast of Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had one of just of just Kit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, which one should I do? Which one is, I guess, the more like
what speaks to you?
Yeah, what speaks to me most, what's more of a factor in my youth, and it was definitely Boy Meets World. You know, so I had him sign that, and it's his picture, and so it's his face. So I had him sign.
Well, and I mean, it could be something that long term you could get the other cast members to sign too.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You know, I'm sure Topanga's does signings, right?
Yeah, I'm sure she does. Yeah. I know some of the other cast members do. But yeah, that's what I was telling myself, okay, if I see it's a sign.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to blow $60, $70 on it because they know he's here.
Yeah.
So they're going to jack their prices up. But I didn't see anything, so. See,
that's
why I didn't walk around, so.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's no, like, pop of him or something like that, but.
I'm sure there is. I think there's a Miss Feeney pop. I think
there is?
Yeah, because I thought I saw somebody having him sign it.
Mm.
Well, here's an idea for any artists out there. If, you know, he ends up at your con that you're at, what if you did a painting or a picture, a digital picture with the car from Knight Rider, and then in the windshield you have the picture of the whole cast of Boy Meets World
inside the car,
either inside or it could be underneath the wiper on front of the car. So it could be either or, like out on the dashboard. You know, for someone like if they're driving, they see.
Can I yes and on that?
Yes, go right ahead.
So I had him sign my Kit's Transformer.
Yeah.
So it's a transform. It turns from Kit car to a Michael Knight-esque character.
Mm-hmm.
What if you convert it into a Mr. Feeney?
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick.
Be cool.
A little mustache and a suit.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
So get on that, Hasbro.
And when you hit the button, it says John Adams quotes from
1776.
It's his whole career.
He had pictures of 1776.
Yeah,
no, he did.
On his banner, yeah.
Oh,
I remember I saw that when I was in high school.
You guys brought it up, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, so that's why I didn't want to walk around because I knew I'd be tempted to buy things.
Yeah.
Although there weren't a ton of vendors. We talked about this at the con. There were more people signing, it seemed, than there were vendors.
Yeah.
There were a ton of vendors. So
I'm going to give a big shout out to the vendor right next to us, Video Hero.
Yes.
Who I think we got their kids through college. Because this is the problem with them being right next to us and them having a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, what do they have?
They were a video VHS of everything from our childhood.
VHSs, yeah.
Yeah.
That was his
I picked up Batman Returns VHS, a Rocketeer VHS. As soon as I saw a Rocketeer, I was like, you bastard. Oh, you got me. He had a bunch of old school like novelizations of movies as well, so I picked up the original Batman novelization.
Did you end up getting Are You Afraid of the Dark ones?
No, I didn't.
Because those were gone Sunday.
He sold those.
Yeah, I thought so, because I was looking for them. They were gone.
But I got Dune, which nice. I laughed because it's a novelization of a movie based on a novel.
Oh, it's on them. I thought it was a novelization of, or I thought it was just a novel.
It's the 84 Dune.
Oh wow,
novelization.
That's so funny.
Which I was like, it's so ridiculous. I kind of want to buy it.
Yeah.
So, but they're awesome. They have a brick and mortar store in Chatsworth. Yeah. So I definitely want to go by.
Oh yeah.
They had a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, we like to have them on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. They were rad.
So. Yeah, it was cool. So, like, when I went down there Thursday to just drop off the heavy stuff, the tables and the bases for our poles that hold up our sign, and he was setting up, and the first thing I asked him was like, hey, do you have any Back to the Future cassettes? Like, yep, here it is, and $10.
That's right. You picked that up, right?
Yeah, it was 15, I think, and but because like I told him, what I'm about to say, like a dum-dum back in like the late 2000s, I threw away my original VHS copy of Back to the Future because I was like, this is dead technology. Blu-rays, DVDs, streaming was kind of a thing just beginning at the time with Netflix. And I threw it away like a dum-dum. And I was like, I remember looking at it when I threw it in the trash can along with a bunch of other stuff. And I was like, kind of feeling bad. Like, oh man, I've had this cassette since I was a kid.
Tears in your eyes.
Yeah, it's like as you're putting it down.
Of a burning trash can.
And like a dum-dum, I threw it away. And it was like, again, it was like from the early 1980s that had been given to me as a kid that I like wore out because I watched it so much.
Yeah.
And I threw it out like an idiot. And so I got one from him. Then I think Friday or Saturday, I bought the original Ghostbusters VHS, which is up on my shelf up here.
Yeah.
and they were nice enough that they gave me a sleeve that the cassettes go into for free.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have grabbed some sleeves.
Yeah, they were like $2, but she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Here you go." You know. So
yeah, Ryan is the owner, and he's phenomenal. He was so nice. And then me and him just talked a while because I was like, "Oh, how'd you get into this?" And he was like, "During the pandemic, you just started collecting VHS tapes, and now they've got like a warehouse full."
Right.
Yeah, he and his girlfriend run it together.
Yeah. And really
they had a lot of business. A lot of people were coming there. It's amazing how many people want VHS again. And
the amount of hentai porn you were able to get from him.
It's nuts.
It's hard to
find that stuff.
Quantify DBZ hentai, but but no.
He was like, "Oh, you want the really fucked up stuff."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no,
what'd you get, Chad?
I got a bunch of DBZ VHSs that have like 2 to 3 episodes on each cassette, and like I had to get them. I got a whole bunch because like upwards of 20 or something like that. I don't
you got
remember.
a lot.
But
you got a lot.
Left with a duffel bag.
It was because originally the dub changed from Canada to when it came over here to I think Funimation and stuff. So I was seeing if. Because you can't really find
the quality go down, or did like dub step
not
down?
Quality, but it's just very rare, and also they changed the music and some things differently from the original. But the arcs that I got were a little later, so I think it already switched. I was trying to find earlier the Saiyan Saga and stuff like that, but that was not. They didn't have any.
Again, I was surprised how much.
I was surprised how many, and they said they had more in Chatsworth, so I probably gonna go.
Yeah, we got to check.
Yeah, they were like, we've only done a few cons, and they were, didn't know what to really bring out, but
but no, I was like, this is my chance because I was always there's huge discourse online, like what's the best version of Dragon Ball Z to own,
right?
And like there's the Blu-rays, there's different sets of Blu-rays, there's DVDs. Like, do I get the DVDs? And people are like, no, those are shit, and so it's just like so I thought maybe the tapes would be the best way at the moment. I don't expect to ever finish that collection or not, or who knows
how many total episodes did you get?
I'm not even sure. I mean,
is there just 3 per?
Yeah, I think it said 3 or 4 per on the tape because each episode's like 20 minutes, a little under, without commercial. So but yeah, like I didn't expect to get the whole collection. I was just like, oh, this would be fun to watch. Just although now I need a VHS player. So that's probably before I buy any more VHSs, secure something that can play those, and maybe a CRTV too. So if there's any listeners who wants to gift,
get rid of their stuff.
We don't have a Patreon yet, but if you want to gift a CRT or a VHS player, please
there you go.
Just send it to Stan. I'm going to read off Stan's address publicly.
Leave it on his front lawn.
Yeah,
But just a few moments ago, I looked up because I was curious. I never really looked it up, and I was like, "What's the S stand for in VHS?" And I was like, "Video Home System," and I was like, "That's kind of like a ATM." Like why do we call the VHS player
teller machine?
Because or why are we calling the tapes VHSs when they're not the systems? They're just the cassette.
Well, they're VHS cassettes, I think is officially
VHS
the
cassettes.
name. Yeah.
So it's like, I have a VHS, but the VHS player. So wouldn't you just say the VHS?
Well, I think the official name of them are VHS cassettes.
Yeah, but like the VHS player, why even say player? Because it's just a system.
Yeah,
it's video.
That's true. Well, that's true.
It's like ATM. It's like it's like ATM machine.
Yeah, you're supposed to say I have a VHS. System. Yeah.
So, but now it doesn't matter because those are ancient.
I do have. I'm lucky enough that I kept my CRT TV and I have a VHS.
Someone was like, look.
Oh yeah, so we didn't mention we took my tiny little TV that I got like in 2002 when I was still in the Army. I bought it because for field
back
operations.
then it was huge.
Huge, yeah. It's probably like what, a little 13-inch.
Stan's small little arms could barely hold it.
I used to do weights with it. But I bought a Nintendo 64 system from one of the video game stores that's nearby, and I've got a couple games. But this was a while ago because I was like, I just want to have like a spare 64 system just so I can play it. I have my original one, but I kind of want to preserve that. So the first video game system I've talked about, first video game system I bought for myself. So that's in the original box, kind of it put away, and I'll put it on display eventually. But I wanted to get, so I got a spare 64 just to play. So one of you guys suggested at some point, like, why don't we take the 64 and the TV and we get set up on the booth? I was like, oh, that's a great idea. NostalgiaCon. So I stopped before I went down to pick Chad up to go to the convention. I picked GoldenEye and Mario Kart. So that
was 64.
For 64, yeah.
Mario 64, I mean.
Mario 64, yeah. So that we could, people could play it at our booth, and we set that up. I got a little Jackery system, like little, spare independent electric system, so we could plug it in, and it lasted for like 5-6 hours. Just on the demo mode.
Yeah.
People would come and stop by, had spare controllers, and then Watson went out and bought some more games.
Yeah, shout out to Calico Games.
Yes.
They were there with their a lot of old school nostalgic games, and they had some N64, so we picked up Super Smash Brothers and Street Fighter,
WCW Mayhem,
WCW Mayhem, and Pod Racer, the Star Wars Racers. So we couldn't get like one of the cartridges to load properly, and the main guy there from Calico Games came because he was like, I'm the cartridge expert,
the cartridge king,
and he cleaned the shit out of it and got it working.
Yeah, and he was just kind of moving the.
He was like, it's all in the wrists. It's all in the wrists.
I was like, my wrist couldn't even move the cartridge.
And he was the one that was like checking out your TV, like, damn.
Yeah, he's like,
that looks so.
He's like, it's like very clean screen.
Yeah, offered you $10,000 for it. You
screen envy.
Yeah,
you were like, I'm not selling this for nothing.
No. It's the TV I've had since the beginning. Which is funny because like I bought that TV maybe for like $100.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was just a spare thing that we could take out to the field and watch movies on, you know. So yeah, now it's funny that I just had it in my garage forever, just with me, and it works perfectly. Luckily, the 64 system I bought from Retro Respawn, that's the video game store I picked up the 64 from, and the controllers and the store I stopped up on the way down to the con. And as I walked in, I had my Enter the Nerdom shirt on, and I had my NostalgiaCon badge on. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're going to NostalgiaCon?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, that's right. It's this weekend. Oh, that's cool, man. I wish I could go after work." I was like, "Yeah, man." So I told him, like, you guys should have a booth down there. Like, and he's like,
absolutely.
That's good. He's like, "Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll bring it up to the owner."
Yeah, no,
and which
give you a discount.
Exactly. Yeah. See your ideas. See,
or at least put our stickers in your window.
That's not a bad idea.
But it was funny though, because it was like there was a lot of people there that were under probably 25 showing up at this con, and I literally, a kid walked up. I think it was Sunday when you guys were at the truck, and this kid came up and picked up the controller to the N64 like it was an artifact from a museum. He was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And he was just like, "How do you hold this?"
Yeah.
Because it's got the 3 prongs, you know. And he like put his hand on one side and the other. I was like, "Nope, think again." And he was like, "Wait, in the center?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's how you do it." And he's like, "This feels weird." I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't really make sense." That's why they changed it right after this. Because I was like, it only works if you have like 3 hands. Because it's like, where do you put your other hand?
Well, it depends on the game, because like some fighting games probably would use the D-pad, and then the others would use the joystick for quick reaction time.
With GoldenEye, it's just all the joystick.
It's all in the joystick.
And the trigger.
And the R and L.
Yep.
And then you have the C buttons, those delicious little C buttons on the side.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think with when they finally went to GameCube, they kind of simplified it a bit more. And, I mean,
but let's put this random yellow joystick.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. All right, guy.
Yeah. But people had fun. They would come up, they would play the system, or they would just like kind of watch it and be like, "Wow, that's looks great." So yeah, great idea. I'm not sure which one of you two mentioned it, but that was awesome.
I'll take credit for it.
It's a great, sure. Probably wasn't you, but yeah, okay.
I think it was, but
No, I think it was too. But yeah, what else did you guys see at the con that was interesting?
We got to watch a little bit of Tom Kenny's performance.
Oh,
yes.
After Saturday, they shut it all down, did a little after party.
Yeah.
They had a really good opening band. I didn't get the name of the band,
me neither.
but they were really good. It was a very like rockabilly kind of feel vibe,
like B-52 kind of.
Yeah. And then Tom Kenny and his band popped out and played a while. So that was fun. That was interesting, and it was like it felt very intimate. Like they shut everything down. It was just like vendors and like VIPs. I think were there,
something like that. Yeah.
So they made us all get real close to the stage, and
I think there were people that were like guests. Like,
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, because some people I saw like that didn't have vendor badges and stuff were standing there watching it. So
I will say this: it did feel pretty cool to go in and out of the con. One of the vendor badges that we all had. When there's this huge line of people waiting to get in, and they just like, walk right in, and nobody even says anything. It's like, oh, vendor, okay, yeah. It was. I thought I was like, yeah, that's right. It felt pretty dope. Yeah.
Especially being in so many cons growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're that dork in the line going, oh, we're never gonna get let in.
That or growing up or a couple months ago.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. We had some vendors next to us where, again, it was a lot of vendors weren't necessarily nostalgic.
It was a lot of anime stuff. A lot of
niche
stuff. Pops.
There were a lot of people hunting that Lua Papa. What's that thing that's popping now? I forget
Lulu beans, Lulubus.
Labubus. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, hunting at a point where they were stealing them.
Yeah. So speaking of the person next to, so the vendors next to us were these very nice ladies who do a lot of like hair accessory things, like bows and clips.
I asked them about the style, and it's called
it's an anime thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not based on anime, but it's based on like, and they call it Lolita.
That's right. Lolita. That's right. That's
where it's this kind of like over like fashionable, like lots of frilly lace dresses,
a lot of bows.
It's the.
It seems like it is Japanese.
It is. It's based on like the kawaii.
Yeah.
Like niche kind of look.
Right.
But so they had a few of those Labubus.
Yeah, and at one point this woman walked by and she was wearing a chef jacket, and Chad almost yelled out, "Hey, is that for the bear?" For the TV show, but he didn't. So it was like, okay. And then time goes on, whatever, and then one of the ladies comes up to him and was like, "This lady just stole from us." Like we saw the Labubus in her hand. She's like put them in her bag and walked off. We're like, "What? Who?" And apparently it was the woman in the chef jacket.
And she hit like several boots.
Several boots, I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah. I mean, it was like ridiculous because, I feel like at cons, like the community is very like, no one seems to really mess around with each other. Like everyone's very polite and, like.
Yeah. The biggest security people do is put a blanket over their stuff.
Yeah.
Or like a tarp,
Yeah. So that was very like, wow. Like these things. I think it's funny because I was talking to someone the other day at work about it. I'm like, it's the new Beanie Baby. It's like, like they're going to be worth like 30 cents next month. But, exactly. For now, like there's a fever for them.
Yeah, it's a new Stanley Cup. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I felt really bad for them because they told us that they paid about $100.
Yeah.
For
it was like $60 a piece.
Yeah, $60, like $120 for both of them.
Yeah.
Hey, these are independent business owners. They're not big companies. Their margins are very tiny.
Yeah.
They're selling
making a ton of
they're making a ton of money. And then with the tariffs, they got to pay for more stuff. They got to pay more to import their things. So the price is going to go up on them. So they have to pass it on to the consumer, or eat the tariffs. So either way, it's going to be hurting their business.
Right.
And so now here comes this asshole who like steals like these two things are worth a good amount of money and walks off with them.
Yeah.
And they saw her do it. Like that was the worst part. They saw her do it and it was like, but they're not security. They can't just
they can't just
tackle,
well, and they were also
busy
helping someone else, and like I felt bad because one of them was from Houston.
Yeah.
Like
they came all the way out here,
and brawler stuff and like.
Oh no! I think they said they drove. They drove all the way out here with all their stuff because they have to carry all that shit.
Oh man!
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff.
The amount of money they probably spent just coming out here.
Right.
Yeah,
and they had like 3 tables.
Yeah,
which is not cheap. So they have to pay for the booths. Our tables, we had one 6-foot long table, but we had a pretty large area behind us, so we did like a U shape with 2 other tables, and ours was 175, I believe, something like that. And so they definitely paid. At least twice what we paid.
Yeah.
What sucks. So I hope that. So I did buy something from him at the end. I bought a little hair clip for Julie just because I felt so bad for him. So trying to help them to some extent. So.
Yeah.
But they were super nice people too.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. I wish them all the best.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hopefully they're listening.
Yeah. Hopefully so. And
Chad says, "What's up?"
Yeah, Jess.
What up?
They know what's up.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple good cosplays that we saw.
Oh yeah, some really good costumes out there. Because yet again, with like NostalgiaCon, it's like it's not a comic book base, it's not an anime base, so it's like
it's like whatever brings you nostalgia.
There was a guy we saw that was dressed as Mario, but like a combat like Mario, and from Super Mario Brothers,
and the piranha plant.
Yeah, and he had like this on his vest, his tactical vest. He had like instead of magazines, he had Wii wands, in there, and then he had like the bullets from Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
he had those,
like the bullet bills.
Yeah, which is supposed to be like like grenades, like and his. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Are you a veteran, dude?" He's like, "Yeah." And then so we talked about that. He was in the Marines for a long time, and I was like, "Yeah." As soon as I saw your chest rig, I was like, "That looks pretty legit. I think you know what you're doing."
I know, it's funny because you guys were talking, and me and his girlfriend started talking. She was like, "I don't know anything about the military." So I was like, no, let them," because you guys were just going at it and talking.
Yeah. So he was dressed, and she was dressed as Princess Peach.
Well, she was dressed as a piranha plant.
Oh, that's right. She was a piranha plant.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Pictures on our
Instagram. Yeah.
If you want to check it out.
Check it out.
Check.
We took pictures of a lot of.
Yeah, he won one of the raffle prizes.
Oh, nice.
I think he won the Blue Beetle. I think. Yeah.
Cool.
I believe
we saw an amazing father and son duo, and the dad was dressed up as Blade.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I got to post that video on because he's playing the N64.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was his uncle and nephew.
It was uncle and nephew.
Oh, gotcha.
But man, his
Blade
looked
really good.
He even
dude.
did the haircut.
Yeah.
He was like, take a picture
That's
from
dedication to do the haircut.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he had the Blade attitude. Which was
yeah.
great.
And then he was streaming too. He did chest rig of.
Yeah, he was doing a live Twitch.
So we should find that tag.
Yeah, and his nephew was probably like, what, 17, 18?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like doing really well
he was killing it on
I will say
Star Wars
Pod
Racer,
Racer,
which is hard.
I have Pod Racer for Switch. I don't know if the port just made it simpler, but it is pretty easy to
on Switch
on Switch at least. I don't know.
Okay, we're not talking about Switch.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
64.
You know.
Man,
I'm
trying to take this kid's thunder.
He's from another time.
He's from another time.
On Switch, you got the two Joy-Cons, right? So like maybe that makes it easier to maneuver.
Well, no, the other joystick does nothing. It's just the one joystick, and then you are holding the gas. That's all you do.
How is it? How are the graphics on that? Is it?
I mean,
do they use the original one or
no? It's they didn't up anything. It's like
that's what I mean.
They just ported it.
No, it's just ported. To
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it's like the whole flat background.
Yeah, and the polygon shapes of people and stuff like that. But no, I mean, not to knock the kid. Usually, older games are harder for newer kids. Am I wrong on that? Am I wrong?
No,
am I wrong to say that?
No.
Am I okay? That's all
why
I was
impressed.
That's all. Yeah, no, I was impressed too.
impressed.
He's handling it. But I'm just saying, for me, that's pretty simple.
Although he might have had some practice because it looked.
You're
like
saying that you could have beat him, is what you're saying.
I'm saying, if we did multiplayer and just.
Okay.
That should have been.
But I since his dad was Blade, I might have had to let him win because I don't want to
You don't want to piss off the
Daywalker.
Daywalker.
Yeah, because I didn't have my ice skates. I can't go ice skating uphill.
Thank you.
Like a mofo. But yeah, that was an awesome duo that showed up. It was uncle and his nephew, and
that was like a highlight of the day for me.
Yeah, it was.
The energy went up there. I was
kind of
like,
as the kid was playing, we got a crowd.
Yeah,
because like his uncle was hyping him up. We were hyping him up.
He was such a good
and of
hype
course
machine.
people, so people like and then people started recording him
because he was first place for so long, and then he crashed into a wall.
Yeah.
And was like, no.
Yeah,
but it was good. Man.
Yeah, it was fun.
You guys weren't there Sunday morning, but there was a guy showed up with a Blockbuster Video hat, like a very 80s, 90s looking outfit, and he had an old school Panasonic camcorder.
No way. Was he recording?
He was recording.
No
and worked,
way.
And we talked for a little bit. It was his grandfather's camcorder that he found. Worked like a dream. Battery was still operating. Everything. And I was like, no way. Like I was like, I used to make videos on this when I was a kid, and like he actually was like, check out the viewfinder, and like the thing was working perfectly.
Ow.
So I mean, he was like carrying it around, and I thought that was really sweet to have like his grandfather's own camcorder. And it was like pristine. Like the thing was in great condition.
Did you guys? I didn't notice. Was there anyone dressed as a Ghostbuster there?
No, I didn't see any.
I'm surprised.
There.
NostalgiaCon,
I don't think.
I don't think there wasn't really any voice actor there for the real Ghostbusters or anything like that. So, but I would have. NostalgiaCon, you'd see one guy.
You're right. That's a good point.
I guess who are you gonna call?
Yeah, who are you gonna call?
Enter the Nerdom.
What a good 3-man costume for another con down the line would be Quint, Chief, and
Brody
and Hooper. Yeah.
Oh man,
that'd be a good one.
That'd be good. Who would play who?
Who would play Hooper? I mean, unless you want to be Chief. I'm going to be Quint, obviously. So it's between you two for Chief and
I think you're going Chief and I'm going Hooper. I think I'm wearing.
You got glasses on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just gotta wear like a. Was it? Like
a
bucket hat and like a full Levi.
I mean, since you are British, maybe I guess you should be Quint. But, I mean, you got the facial hair and all that stuff. I could be. I got the voice for. He's back for his noon feeding. You know, like the
more Dreyfus.
Yeah, I don't know much about sharks, but I could at least get the voice down.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we also if you took a part, we also had some. Speaking of Ghostbusters, we also had Watson's Proton Pack from the Hasbro lab set up, and so we usually, this isn't the first time we set up a booth where we just have things behind us and on a display
that we talk about.
That we talk about. So the first year I took my Batman bust from Sideshow. You also took your Proton Pack, and Chad took his Ed 209 figure. I had this was for Pasadena Comic-Con 2 years ago, I guess. And I had the Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet on there. And this year I took my Boba Fett bust, which Julie also gave me. Thank you very much. We had to have the Proton Pack.
Yeah,
for Nostalgia Con.
It's a good. People ask about it.
Yeah, I also took
my.
Yeah, people. It definitely is an eye catcher.
Yeah.
I also took my Nickelodeon radio from the 90s.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon back in the 90s, for those of you who don't know, released a bunch of products under the Nickelodeon name with like the Nickelodeon like splat kind of theme. Yeah. So they released a radio, which is like an alarm clock radio that still works. I got it on eBay. I entered not a raffle. I entered an eBay competition to see who could win it. And somehow I won. I guess I put down I think it was like $40 or $50 on the auction, I should say. And I won, so it works. And for a long time, it was the only radio I actually had in my house. So whenever I need to listen to the radio, I'd plug it in. They also released a boombox, a phone, a camera, and a calculator. Oh, wow. So there's, I'm pretty sure I'm missing something else, but those are the major items, and they go for a lot of money on eBay right now.
The clock, does the clock for the alarm, does it go nick 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 nick?
That'd be awesome, but no, it doesn't.
No, it's just a regular alarm.
Beep, beep,
oh, that's a bummer.
And it's got this huge red button. Yeah, it's this huge red button that you push to turn it off and on. It's got like this slime themed light that goes across it that turns on. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And some people, two people asked me about it. So much so that at the end of the night that I was like, when we were packing up, I was like, let me take this with me because it's...
One of those people was the evil chef thief.
Chef. Yeah. And so, yeah, people... Oh, I also brought my my Master Chief's... My Master Chief's helmet that I got from Halo 2 in the packaging that came out in, I think, 2003 or 4. It came with a Halo helmet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And people were asking us about our items. Oh, and then Chad put his DBZ, Dragon Ball Z cassettes on display.
Two tapes in the back there. I thought that would be a nice addition.
Yeah. I also I also took my Super Mario Brothers Koopa shell plushie, pillow that I put out there. And
nice.
So it was good little looking additions that we set up out there.
Especially that's good timing since the Switch 2 just came out that weekend, and then people are playing Mario Kart World.
Oh, yeah.
And whatnot.
Well, I was thinking nostalgia stuff. What
exactly. That was the whole...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still...
But yeah, it was... Yeah, you're right.
Still 1-1 with...
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun, and thank you for everyone that worked there in Anaheim. They were really nice staff, and I think a few of them came around our booth and said hi. So, I think it was done really well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had two security guards show up. And we're like, are they real security guards?
Oh, yeah.
They weren't from our event. They were from the next event, Dover. Which is
but they just graduated high school.
Yeah. And so we're like, are they cosplaying or the actual security? It's like, are you guys real or are you just cosplaying? Like, no, we're real security. It's just,
I was like,
yeah, we were working the next event, which is a volleyball tournament.
They wanted to come see what was going on.
And they just wanted to see what was going on, so they just wandered over and stopped our booth.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. So,
I hope they got, because it was near the later end of the day on the last day when they came by, and I was like, I hope they got any signatures that they wanted to, because they didn't even know the VO people were here.
That's right.
The thing. So hope they got something nice.
Yeah, exactly. And towards the end of on Sunday, as we were moving stuff to the truck, there's still a few guests that were still hanging out. Zachary Gordon from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh,
he was one of the last people left, and he was still like talking to people, and it's like pretty much everybody already left. And
he's like, "Hey, where are you going?
Hey, guy." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are you doing after this?
He put on that voice.
That's what he put.
I'm an adult now. But, I mean, just to lure him in. Yeah. Let's go back.
Let's go
in time.
Yeah.
Relive the glory days.
Karen Fukuhara was also there. She plays Kimiko.
I didn't meet her. I wish I met her.
So she was actually hanging out. There was for a while. There was like nobody at her booth. Also,
really,
a guy that plays Frenchie was there.
Oh, Tomas.
Yeah, Tomas. And there was like nobody kind of by their table for a while. Tomer Capone. I was just like. And there was I didn't see anybody at her booth, but there was already been people. So towards the end, so there'd been a number of people. So I was like, I should have kind of tempted to go over there and say,
I should have paid.
But as they were walking out, I was like, as I was reading stuff to my truck, as we were packing up, I was like, hey, I love you guys' work, and they're like, oh, thank you, very nice. So it was nice to see them. Yeah, come to podcast. Yeah, as her security's like pepper spraying me.
It's worth it.
That'd be cool if because I know they're doing a Shogun 2, the season 2.
Yeah.
That if Fukuhara got cast for that or something like that,
great.
She would be a great addition to the cast.
She did. Yeah.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. No, I'm asking if she.
No, if she did.
I thought you were saying. Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know if they're.
This is like
they're not filming season.
It's the last season of Boys.
Are they filming now? No, right?
I believe so.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Well, I don't think they started. They're writing Shogun 2 right now, but
okay. It might. Well, hopefully it lines up.
But that'd be
cool.
great because
awesome.
she would knock it out of the park.
She's amazing in that.
She's so good with boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Tomer Capone. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to see. Oh, Drake and Josh were there. They had a huge line. They also kind of hung out towards the end too. They stuck. A lot of people had already packed it up, but they were kind of still seeing fans. And yeah, it was. I didn't grow up with their show, but there was a lot of people that love them, so they grew up with that show there. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Would you guys be down to doing another con at some point?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we had several people ask us where we were going to be next.
Yeah.
And we had no answer because we haven't planned that far ahead of the year yet. But definitely, I mean, I would love to do another con.
I want to do LA Comic Con, but those booths are not cheap. So, and the cheaper ones, I think the cheapest ones are like $300, $300 or $400, I think. So as I recall when I looked at it, and those were like in the corner. So we actually didn't have a terrible location when I first got there. I was like, because we were kind of crammed in between the video store, which was already setting up, and then there was those tables that were eventually taken over by the people who were selling the hair product stuff, and so we're sandwiched in between them. So I was like, I don't know how this is gonna look like. I kind of wanted one of those against the wall, but however, those turned out to be are cheaper because just one table against the wall, but we had a pretty good amount behind us.
Let me ask you guys, I'm planning to go to LA Comic Con regardless. Yeah. Are you guys?
I want to go. I don't know what I'm going to be doing that time though. So I definitely
when is it again?
End of September.
Yeah.
So September 23rd.
I like LA Comic Con, so I definitely want to go.
It depends. I mean, I might.
I mean, I really want to go because the full cast, Daredevil's cast is going to be there. So Charlie Cox will be there again. We've already met him. Whatever.
Yeah.
But John Bernthal is going to be there, and Vincent D'Onofrio, which those guys I would love to meet.
Yeah.
And then David Tennant, Doctor Who, is going to be there. Who is my doctor, So I'm of course I would love to meet him. And Billy Piper, who was like his companion, and Martha.
The other companion,
Freema, who played Martha, would be there too. So I'm like planning to go anyway. So it's like probably around $60-$70 per person anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, might be worth just to get a booth.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's something we could talk about off air.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at you have to apply to it, so I don't know how. I don't know what they probably. I don't think they look at followers or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what their process is for the application. Just you just how to apply for it.
Right.
So, but some of the prizes I've seen, we can. Yeah, I would love to do it. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's also not cheap. So
no. Exactly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to go just regardless as well. So
yeah. But I know there's a few other cons coming up by the end of the year. Like I know Bakersfield does a con.
Yeah.
Which I think they got. Like the cast of Grease is going to be there this year. Bakersfield. I don't know if there's anything on in Ontario. Just happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything like Creep IE should be coming back up.
Creep IE is probably September again, I think.
Yeah. So we could look into that.
I would love to get a booth just to go.
Yet again, like
yeah.
Yeah, it might be a lot cheaper and easier to do that.
Yeah, I would also love to just get a booth just to go at Midsummer Scream. But you guys wouldn't see me. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be at the booth, so I'd be gone. So
that'd be fine. Yeah.
I love.
We'll hold it down.
Yeah. But yeah, Nostalgia Con. I hope it comes back next year. It's a lot of fun. I hope it's a little bigger next year too. And,
we were a little surprised. Vendors. Well, I was surprised when I walked in and I was like, oh, like, because it says, like, Anaheim Convention Center is so huge.
Yeah.
But most of it was dedicated to a volleyball, like a high school volleyball tournament.
Right.
So it was like, where is everyone? And like, oh, we were at, like, Hall A, which was down the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, oh, okay, we're all the way at the end here.
So. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, great time, and I hope to do it again.
Yeah, yet again, thank you everyone that came out. Thank you for saying hi.
Thanks for hanging out with us and just coming and talk to us.
Giving us a follow.
We had a lot of people just
jib jab.
Yeah, we had a lot of people just come down and talk to us. Multiple people came down multiple times.
Yeah,
like, hey guys, how's it going? Just
we had some really cool people show up. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Very chill.
Yeah,
cool people.
Exactly. And so we also watched Ballerina.
Yeah,
we'd like to talk about it. This is the story that's intertwined with the John Wick universe.
Yes.
Starring Ana de Armas as a female assassin who goes rogue and starts hunting down the cult that murdered her father. And it was a pretty simple storyline.
Yeah.
Revenge and kill the people who are trying to kill you.
If they went more complicated, I think then it wouldn't be John Wick.
Of course,
you just had to have something simple to go off of there.
Well, and this being, unlike John Wick, where, you start off John Wick, he's already been an assassin.
Yeah.
This is a very much an origin story.
Yeah.
This is very, soup to nuts. You get to see the birth, of her in this criminal world, where she gets taken in by the Russian, I forgot the name of the name.
Roscoe
Romero, something like that.
Alfa Romero's, yeah. No. But, she gets taken in by the assassin tribe, which I guess aren't assassins. They're there to protect.
They're more bodyguards, it seems.
Yeah.
Because her first assignment and what they train a lot on is protecting the asset.
Yeah.
Which means whoever they're assigned to protect. So they're more. It seems like they're more bodyguards than assassins. John Wick's people who are like, I think they're like Albanians. Like they're
because he's from there as well. Like,
right.
It seems the men are more.
Yeah, exactly.
Are more for killing and then they're for protecting type of situation or something like that. But no, I thought they did a very good job with the movie. Like the only thing I had an issue with is like I don't understand the point of the cult.
Roscoe Roma, excuse me.
Roscoe Roma, thank you.
Roscoe Roma, yeah, that's it. The cult that she was after that killed her family. I was like, what is their purpose in this world though? I mean, they didn't have to explain it, which they didn't really explain it.
They kind of said like they used to be all. It's a place where they could just be free and do whatever they want.
I mean, that was his. I didn't know if that was like.
Yeah.
It felt like they were there, but like.
Right.
I mean,
it seemed like everyone was kind of scared of them, like
so I was just like,
because they kind of go by their own rules.
Yeah, and I was I was very curious about their group because I thought their dynamic was very fun, with when the later sequence in the film, where I was like, this is great. So
I think we're laughing as hard as there's stuff that happens in this film. When she's trying to track down the killers of her father.
Yeah.
And she comes, she does all this training growing up, and finds like one of the guys, or they kind of cut to like 2 months after her initial training, like she's pulling out a knife head from her shoulder, and it looks like a hit that went wrong or something.
Yeah. And
she gets hit by a car, and it's one of the guys from that tribe, that cult.
Before we go any further, spoiler alerts for
spoilers
out there. So.
I will say, I thoroughly love this film. I thought it was really well done.
She did a lot of her own stunts.
Yeah, I was watching a lot. Like after I got home, I decided to watch some like the behind the scenes stuff, and her like doing the training with Keanu. On like the fight sequence and choreography, and like her being like, "Oh, sorry, was I too close?" And he's like, "Just do what you got to do." You know, like it was very cool. Like he was like into it. You could tell.
Yeah.
And just like all the weapons stuff. Like when she's firing guns, she is not blinking. Like
no.
Which there was a big thing in the Matrix, why they all wore dark glasses in the Matrix.
Oh,
because they couldn't help but close their eyes when they're
firing.
Even Keanu? At first, and then that's why it's a big deal in these movies. Like they're like, we're not wearing sunglasses.
Oh wow!
Like you have to learn to fire a gun without like looking steady.
Nice.
The little thing about the Matrix, they look cool, but really they're all squinty. I thought the stunt guys in this. Oh my god! The for the whole like fire sequence, I was just like, if these guys don't win for when they do the next stunt awards, for the Academy Awards when they do the stunt, how much of that was practical was incredible. Because like like it's the hits and stuff because there's a lot of good hits where people get thrown against walls and stuff in this movie, hits to the head, like stuff like that, and then you see this fire sequence. And it's a good long fire sequence. It's like a good 10 minutes of the movie. Where she's running around with a flamethrower, and those guys were on fire, and you can tell when it cuts to CGI fire. There's a few scenes,
there's a couple,
but it's very sparingly.
Yeah, because they show them on fire for a longer amount of time, so they obviously they had to like blend it. So I think they were, and then they put it out and put the digital. Over
but
it.
Like even the guy who's like kicking at her while his legs on fire.
That was a cool
I was like, oh shit, that looks really good.
That reminded me of Tony. I think it was in a Tony Jaa movie. One of the guy's legs was on, or his leg was on fire, and he did a spin kick. Type of thing.
Oh, God. I mean, it does take you back to those kind of early, the martial arts movie of the heyday.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed by everything I was watching on screen.
And like I also liked, it was very similar to the first John Wick in the sense that they didn't bring all these bigger name martial artists in to kind of bump up the movie. It was like, this is more for her and then a little bit for Gabriel Byrne and whoever else. But like, it was a smaller. I like how they didn't start big with it. It was just a smaller film. Story wise. So
what did you think of Gabriel Byrne being the big bad?
I mean, I thought we'd get a little bit more from him, but like I thought he was great because first I was like, wait, he's doing a Swedish accent, and I mean he's always doing an Irish one, so or at least most of the things he's been in, it's been his Irish accent. So I was like, hey, that's pretty good. He does, but he was in the Vikings, so I shouldn't have been surprised.
That's right, yeah.
But no, I thought he did a great job. It's just we didn't like in the first John Wick we cut back and forth between the head of the Russian mob, so we got to see him a bit more and just feel what he's about. Here it was like near the finale where we kind of just
see him with the dog.
How we reacted to the spoiler alert, the sister just killed them both.
Right.
I was like, I'd like to know more about that, because if he's all about we're all family here, if we got into and that's what brought up more, like, what's the point of this cult thing if he's just like, oh yeah, just kill them, doesn't really matter.
So the cult, turns out it's because it seems like it's like former assassins who have like gone there to start a life aside from what they do at the Continental and whatnot. yeah, it was. It's funny because like towards the end of the movie, John Wick eventually shows up, and Ana de Armas's character is mostly doing the killing, you know. But he joins in eventually as well.
Yeah.
But I'm like, towards the end of the movie, I was like, there's nobody left. They've killed like 80% of the people in this town. Like they're all dead.
Right when she got into the town, I was like, she's gonna kill everybody. In this town.
So at the end, you know, when she finally takes out Gabriel Byrne and like his driver, he's like, why don't you just what are you trying to do? You can't fight. Just come here, basically, just saying like you can't stop us.
Yeah,
you know. And she shoot. I'm like, bro, there's nobody left, dude.
I don't know. There's a lot of children.
That's true.
They're going to come at her with knives.
Yeah, kids.
Well, but apparently,
I'm surprised they didn't have any kids.
I think that would have been crossing the line. Though.
No.
But
she don't have to kill them. Just knock them out. You know, if you had like,
I'm gonna say I would have loved that.
Me too.
A bunch of kids came out at her with knives,
right?
That
I think it would have been an interesting fight because obviously she's not gonna shoot him in the face,
right?
You know?
No,
but it would have been interesting to see her using techniques because using her bodyguard training to try to defend herself without hurting them too much, you know?
Or at least like not the toddlers, but like maybe a little bit older.
No, that's what I mean. Like 12-year-olds, you know.
Well, I thought you meant 15, like the younger.
No,
which I'm not against
it either.
Punching kids in the
face. If it's like a 7-year-old, a 7-year-old could do some damage to you if he has a knife.
Hey, anybody
coming
coming at me with a knife gets these hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No,
but it'd be interesting, just like, you know, if she knocks him out of their hands and like,
just you know, like Kill Bill, where she.
I was just thinking that same thing. She spanks the guy. Stop fucking around with Yakuzas. Go back to your mother.
Or I thought she kind of would like rescue them and kind of raise them herself.
Yeah, because I mean, it does leave room for a possible sequel.
Well, but they also alluded that she only cut off one head. There's multiple versions of that cult around the world.
Because at the end there's a bunch of contracts.
Yeah,
on her, so,
And I was like, okay,
which was like putting up the contract. I don't know.
But this. I think this is really cool because it could set up, at least a team up of her, Halle Berry, and like John Wick and something. Although I know Donnie Yen, he's getting his own movie, but I don't know when that's happening yet. But other than that, I mean, like
hopefully soon.
And like recently, I read Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves. They didn't really take their notes for the show, the Continental. So that's kind of like frowned at. So
not
like
good.
I didn't really. I watched.
Did you watch it?
No.
It's a completely different feel
very different.
From the theme, and like Chad actually says that in an interview, and I was like, so I was like, okay, so we don't have to count that as canon.
It felt
at all.
more like a Guy Pearce thing. Like it was very much like a crime drama show.
Yeah, it was just not really. They didn't follow the parameters that the movies fill.
Is there like action scenes like in the movie?
There are.
There's a couple.
Yeah, but it's. I mean,
is it on the same level?
Not the same.
That's such a miss. Dude.
Especially
such a miss.
It's made directly for Peacock and.
If you're gonna do something,
an HBO series, that would have been different.
If you're gonna do, I mean, even that, it doesn't matter what it shouldn't matter what what network you're on or streaming service. If you're gonna do something related to John Wick, the heavy of those shows is the fight scenes.
Yeah,
that's what brings everybody in. You know, not the
lore,
not the Academy Award winning acting. You know,
how many gold coins do you get to kill someone?
Yeah, not the cool suits. All that shit helps, but it's the fighting scenes.
I mean, the one thing I did like about this movie too is she doesn't wear the bulletproof suit.
That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. So eventually she does meet up with Wick, and he has the bulletproof. Yeah. She does hit him, but. It's funny because when she eventually does meet up with John Wick, who was sent in to stop her because Gabriel Byrne reaches out to her. Basically,
it's like, you want war?
Yeah. Because like she's one of the Roma, and he's intruding on his territory.
She's got the mark on her back.
So
and everything.
He sends John Wick out there to take her out, and like within 10 seconds, John Wick could have like ended her. Multiple times.
You could tell he was holding back.
Yeah, he's definitely 100%. He was just kind of tossing her around, But yeah, she wasn't wearing the suit. She doesn't. It seems like she doesn't have the resources that he does. You know?
I think I don't know the gold coin currency thing.
Yeah,
because she seemed to only have that one. But I think that was a marker. That wasn't even like a gold
it's like
coin.
The Winston's coin. Yeah.
So I think she was still on the beginner. Like she has to earn. All that stuff.
I do love. They did like every John Wick movie. You got to go meet someone who's going to give you a bunch of guns.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they always it's the sommelier. It's something like that.
Is it in the Continental?
Yeah.
Is it in the show?
Yes.
It is?
They do that? I don't think they did
at least they did that
type of thing.
Oh, they don't have the same guy. No.
No, it's different guys every time.
But there is a sommelier.
I just don't remember.
Oh, jeez. That means they don't.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But I loved in this where it gets interrupted midway while he's doing his spiel.
Because every single one, every single sommelier has been like,
show all my stuff.
It's been a very civilized thing. Like, yo, let me show you the guns, and would you like some wine? Sir?
Right, exactly.
And then middle of that, they just start shooting through the door. It was very unexpected. I was like, oh shit, yeah.
And even he was like, God damn it, because he got hit in the head.
Yeah.
That grenade sequence was awesome.
Good.
Amazing. Amazing. Because that was, and we talked about this a little when we got out the movie, of like past few John Wick movies get very exhausting after a while because you're just, Keanu's great in it, but there's only so much you do in those films. Like, he shoot, he'll do a judo move, he'll do a shoot,
Well, I would say, like, for me, I do get that feeling, but I do see they have their set sequences that will up that.
Yes.
Because, like, you can't keep going up in every scene because he'll have to get there through similar moves and whatnot.
But I thought this was very creative.
No,
the way of just like, okay, she's looking for a gun. She's looking for a gun. All there is a bandolier of grenades.
Yeah.
And how she uses those is so effective.
Yeah,
and
so effective.
So funny. I mean, like, it's funny. Like, I'm laughing when I'm watching. No, it's very kind of slapsticky.
It is, but it's also, if you think about the beginning of the movie, her dad was using grenades as well, and I was like, oh, that's a nice little throwback too.
And then same with the fire. Like, I love that they went to like a flamethrower battle scene. Because it was something new.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I was like, I was worried when the movie was going. I was like, okay, is this just going to be, nothing too spectacular? Because I didn't know her capability moveset wise, so I was like, okay. And then when they got to the grenades, and I was like, okay, here we go. This is where the John Wick world is coming in, where it's crazy deaths and things like that, like people getting stabbed like 50 times. Because So.
I mean, I'm just gonna put words in your mouth here, but I thought the scene in the cafe, you were loving it.
I love that. So there's a part where eventually she makes it to the cultist town, I suppose, and she goes into a cafe, and it just looks like a normal people just in there with their families and enjoying a nice breakfast, and there's a chef in there. And did you?
That's one of my favorite. Part,
So and then all of a sudden everybody kind of just starts attacking her. She's like, "What the hell is going on?" And she realizes, like, "Oh my god, everybody in this town is in the cult. It doesn't. It's not like a small group of people. It's like this entire town that's now after me." And there's a great fight between her and the chef, who's also a woman. And they're just going at it so well done. So well done. And that's in the trailer. You see that when she like runs behind the walk-in fridge fridge, and she kind of locks it in there. And eventually the chef is able to like force her way out of there, but she hits another female assassin that's about to take her out. It's so great, dude.
Did your theater did you guys get applause when she like finished a fight sequence sometimes?
No.
There was in the theater I was in, not everybody, but there was a good amount of people that were clapping after.
Cool. See, we had the 40X, so it probably took the energy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We got rattled a lot. Oh man.
So did it like punch your back or
something? Yeah. And every time they would fire rounds at her, it would miss. You'd see the wisp of air would pass through.
Oh wow.
It was actually ruffling my hair. That's
really?
That's like redo my hair afterward. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We had full on snow in the theater.
Yeah,
seriously?
Rain too. Yeah.
Oh man.
And every time somebody got hit with like a machete or a knife, like with splatter, we have water droplets on her face.
Maybe I should try.
It was actually pretty fun.
It was very fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 40. He's more of a 40X.
No, my thing.
I'm okay either way, but I prefer not to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I like sound and big screens over the entertainment. But like, if the movie's fun enough, I would consider checking it out.
Yeah.
40X. But the I like before that sequence with the chef. They always bring this actor back. He's the stunt guy.
I said the same thing.
So
I was
like, the director.
Yeah.
No, that's not the director.
That's not the director.
No, he's a stunt guy that works with Chad a lot.
Okay.
He was in the first movie in the club.
Yeah, the club. That's what I said. I was like, isn't that the guy that John Wick fought?
He showed up in like each of the John Wicks, so he's there.
It's not the same character though, is it?
No.
Okay, that's what I said. Because I was so confused. Because I turned to Watson. I was like, isn't that the guy John Wick fought? Isn't he? Wait a minute. It's like she's fucking him up really good.
Yeah.
How did this? How did that happen?
No, it's
But he's on Barry as well. He's the
He's a very
he's everywhere.
After John Wick, like his stunt work blew up, so you see him a lot. But like he works with Chad and I forget the other director's name. The oh my god, who did Atomic Blonde? The director of Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on his name, but he works with him as well because they both did the first John Wick together. So, but no, he's a great stunt guy.
David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch.
Oh yeah,
not David Lynch.
Lich.
Yeah. Lich.
I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Leech. Yeah.
Leech. Yeah.
Leech. But yeah, no. He's so when I saw him, I was like, oh, this is great to see him again, and he kind of is bringing in a new actor into the world with his fight scene, and so I like how he was still strong, but she had to use her body weight and stuff
to break his arm.
Yeah,
I like the way she fights. Like, and I like the
it's whatever she
they bring
can.
it back to the beginning where she's trying to do everything the way everyone else is doing, and her teacher's like, no, you got to fight dirty.
There's a huge guy who just keeps knocking her down.
Yeah.
And she even says, like, you're never going to be able to overpower him.
Yeah.
You got to fight dirty, fight like a girl.
Right.
Which is use everything around you and hit
and
dirty.
You see her through the course of the movie. She's very good at improvising. Like, she grabs a knife from the kitchen and sticks it to her gun. And she's using that as to stab as she, like, shoots. And, like, the improvisation is fantastic.
She really gets tossed around in this movie.
Man.
It's just crazy. The ice scene, the ice club.
Oh yeah, when
the nightclub
doing the bodyguard.
Guy kicks her in that ice sculpture. I was like, that was rough. I was like, ouch.
She gets creamed.
I was like, she took that foot.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I don't know if, and we were talking about this. Watson and I were talking about the movie. He's like, I don't know. It looked like a lot of it was her on the arms. Yeah. It's like, I mean, I don't know about that one that she got.
That one might have been
but that
because I think it was like from an angle where they could have put someone else in.
But that person really got kicked in that. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
I was trying to figure out. I didn't look it up, but was that guy the Asian actor for Mission Impossible Fallout, the one they fought in the bathroom? I thought it was him. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I don't think that's him.
Because I was like, oh, that's cool. He gets another cool scene.
Yeah, and another cool suit.
Yeah,
that guy seemed a little older.
Yeah, I think you're right though. Yeah. But that guy I loved it. It was
wow.
Yeah, that sequence is great, and I mean, I love that they really do these really long takes with all the action beats, and it's to show like, no, this is really them going at it. There's no like quick cuts to anything. Like it's it's awesome.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, and it was interesting that in her first, I guess, mission, her first real fight, she doesn't kill anybody.
No, she's got to use the rubber bullets.
Yeah, they even tell her like, you got rubber bullets. It's
improvise.
Yeah, and she fucks him up, but they get her.
She lets him live. She like stabs him a bunch of times.
Yeah,
but
with that like the hammer at the end,
the ice axe, the pickaxe,
I part of me, I was like, before seeing the movie start, I was like, is Gabriel Byrne gonna have a fight scene like at the end of the first John Wick? I mean, I know he's older, but like obviously the bad guy from the first film wasn't really trained
on
super
John Wick's level.
So I was like, I could see them going at it, but they didn't have to.
No, I would love to see Gabriel Byrne do it.
Yeah, just like a Liam Neeson type of like.
It just cuts to like a 20-year-old guy.
Because all his roles are like, he's a sophisticated person. And I would love to see that. I really liked him as the.
He was
the villain.
Yeah, I kind of wish we got more with the sister.
Yeah, because they kind of just threw it in there. Oh, it's your sister.
Yeah. I mean, they met at the beginning of the movie. The dad's like, "Oh, you look a lot like your sister," and then they don't really go anything with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, like the setting that they were in, since they were in enemy territory, and then obviously he didn't want them talking to each other. I guess.
Yeah.
For some reason, but the thing is, like, Ana de Armas' character didn't really have any attachment because she didn't know she had a sister. So it wasn't really a good or bad that she died. It was just like, it could have turned into something. But
we didn't even mention your boy Daryl Dixon's in this film.
That's right. Yeah.
Norman
Reedus. Norman Reedus. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
Oh no, I was just like, apparently he had more scenes. They had to cut like the flamethrower stuff.
Yeah,
he was added later. Oh. That wasn't even in the movie apparently at first. Like,
wow, really?
Yeah, and
that's a stellar.
So I was like, I can't imagine what it would have been without that in there. But apparently, he had more scenes because if he is Gabriel Byrne's son in the movie, like you would think he would have more important scenes.
True.
But But yeah, no, he did a great job for what.
Did an awesome
Yeah,
job.
The shotgun work.
He's also got a lot of experience doing fight scenes from Walking Dead.
Yeah,
and he's I think I told
from Blade 2.
Yeah.
It's so funny the blue hue of the movie reminded me of Blade 2. I was like, oh, after this he's gonna go to work for Blade.
Show his lip tattoo.
Yeah. Well, and then the that's right. I forgot he had that lip tattoo. Yeah. Blade.
I'm a familiar bitch.
Yeah. That was such a surprise to me.
We were messing you the whole time.
I knew since they turned.
I forgot all about that. Yeah. But he did I think I talked to you guys about this. That Daryl Dixon show that takes place in France. The Walking Dead show.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of fight scenes in that. And they look legit.
Oh really?
Yeah. And the cool thing about that is that there's a scene where he has to try to get out of this fortress he's in. And he's fighting, again, kind of like cultist kind of people. And he's using medieval weapons. And he has this flail that he used, like this ball and chain flail.
Jesus.
And it's nasty. The way it's a real thing. He's swinging around. And the fight scenes he does with it are really good.
I wonder if David Leitch or Chad Slate helped on any of the fight sequences there.
Probably,
yeah.
Possible. I imagine so. I don't know who coordinated the fights for that Daryl Dixon show, but they knew what they were doing.
Damn,
it's really good. It's really good.
I loved also the look of the Prague Continental, like that big glass door.
I was that was very.
Ooh,
nice.
that is sexy.
Yeah, the style of the John Wick series is very prevalent in this, which I love. The ice scene,
unique looking world.
The club.
Yeah.
With all the ice in it, looked amazing. I was like, whoa, look at this. Even when she walked in, she had that coat on.
Yeah.
For that continent, I mean, I can't think of the name of that specific continental that they were in, that they broke the rules. But I just love the line of the guy running it, just like, you need to go.
Yeah.
Like you're being kicked out of a hotel.
So that was hilarious. You need to check out.
Yeah, that's it.
You need to check out.
So you should check out.
Yeah, and that was a good fight scene too in the in Roman Reedus's hotel room when they burst in because they raised the price on his head, so they're hoping somebody breaks the rules. The Continental goes after, which they did.
Yeah,
and they eventually paid
that
for
much
it.
money they were going to.
Yeah, it was $4 million. So they broke the rules, and then at some point, Ana de Armas and the two assassins who survived are on their knees, and she's like, "I didn't start this. I didn't kill anybody. I just defended myself." Which you're allowed to do in the Continental. You're allowed to defend yourself. Not allowed to attack, but you can defend yourself. And so they gunned down the other two, and it was so good. Yeah. And then that's when they're just looking at
like the consistency through all these movies. They know the rule set, and they stay consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I mean, it's fun that he's doing John Wick 5, but I want Chad Stahelski to get to Highlander because it's so similar in the context with the Continental being sacred ground, and it's just like I know he would kill it.
Yeah,
it's right around the corner. It's
agreed.
So I hope he gets to it soon. I know
with Cavill.
Well, the thing is, studios they want IP now, and John Wick's a dependable he's
those movies are consistently making money.
Yeah. So that's unfortunately I don't know if this is going to make back its money. Speaking of which,
what's the box office looking like?
Right now, it's not good. It's at the budget was 80 to 90 million. So let's say 90. And that's not counting marketing. So that's probably like another 50. So let's say it's at 140.
Yeah,
roughly around there. And that's a conservative estimate. And it's only made the box office at 55. So nowadays movies have to make back about 2.5 times their budget, including their marketing budget, to become profitable. And I don't know.
I could see it doing good overseas.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think also on the digital streaming end of it, it will get a lot of play.
I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. I mean,
I can understand people not making it out to theaters nowadays because things are pricey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I guess a large popcorn now is $11. It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. More than I was shocked to hear that. I was like, really? It went up?
Yeah. No, bottled water is like $8.
So
it's just not. But I mean, I hope this movie does well. I don't see it making its money back or making a profit, unfortunately, because it's hard to take a franchise that's very popular and add a character that's not always related to the original IP. Yeah. It's hard to make a profit off of that. So, and this is a character we don't know about. She's new. We've never heard about her until this point. I don't even think have we heard about the Ballerinas before?
We have.
Yeah,
they were showed a little bit in the last.
Two. 2 he went there to because we saw it in this movie where he gets the ticket taken off of his back.
Oh, that's right.
That
She's watching a ballerina.
Yeah,
on stage.
she's watching.
That's right. Yeah.
And so we saw them before, and then, which was I was trying to figure out when this movie was taking place too, because at that point I was like, okay, so 2's happening, but at the end when he shows up, he's missing his finger, and I was like, well, he fakes his death at the end of 3, so I was like, is this
between 2 and 3?
No, well, I mean, it has to be he came out of hiding for this for his because his boss got brought back into it. If you remember, so that's why I was like, okay, so but then people know John Wick is alive, so I was like, that makes sense because for the French, I mean, Skarsgård knows he's alive, so yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's fine. He wasn't in it enough where I had to question it too much.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's cool.
Well, and I was hoping that he would do a little more than just fight her, and thankfully they did give us that. He eventually turns on the Colt and he starts whacking him out, and it was so great. And at one point, one of the henchmen was like, "This is suicide, it's John Wick," and I was like, "Come on, we could take him." Yeah, and he just comes out of nowhere.
Everybody laughed at that line.
Yeah, this was too. Yeah. But yeah, it's still a really good movie.
It's just one guy.
It's just one guy. And they're both dead. But yeah, it was. I still really like this movie. I really like. I like Ana de Armas in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna make its money back, but I hope it's still very enjoyable. I hope people go see it.
I don't think nobody made too much, but they're getting a sequel, so
that's true.
I think it does have a potential to. Maybe it won't be immediate, but it will be down the line.
I could see them making a sequel to this. I could,
there's we got 28 years later and Megan 2.0 coming out.
Yes.
So.
I got tickets for 28 years later.
So that's going to be kind of taking up that and then there's kids movies like Harry
Megan's definitely going to suck the oxygen out of the room for sure. Yeah. Mm. So are you guys going to go watch that?
I still need to see the first one, so
it's okay. Yeah.
No,
the second one looks silly, though. It looks fun.
The first one is a little more like, what if Chucky was more...
trying to be a thriller.
Yeah, exactly. And this one's just going to be like an action comedy.
It's Terminator 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The new Child's Play they did with Mark Hamill was that in a Megan in a sense. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't really... The idea didn't really pull me in, but I'll still check it out because it looks fun, but it's just like, I don't think I'll go out of my way for the second movie.
Yeah.
If people are going to see, maybe I'll tag along.
In full costume.
I think
Chucky
Tiffany,
costume.
Well, no, Tiffany should bring her Megan doll to the theater.
Sure, yeah,
that'd be great. She would get a lot of pictures
for sure
for that, and also things to put on.
I wonder if
Instagram.
she had to buy a ticket.
You'd have to.
You'd have to. Yeah. If it's taking a seat, you have to. Yeah.
Because she wouldn't sit in her lap.
But the thing is, it wouldn't have ID. Well, actually, no. If she got the ticket for him, she wouldn't need it. It would just be her idea.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome to see. And we also watched Predator: Killer of Killers on Hulu, which is a series of short stories all rolled in one, intercollecting short stories of different time frames where the Predator aliens have shown up. What are they called? Yunghai?
Yakutia, I think.
What are they called again? Something like that. Something Y.
Yucca.
Yakutia.
Something like that.
Something like that.
They've shown up different time frames, starting off with the Viking Age, going into it seems like the Samurai Age, Edo period maybe, and going into World War II. So different predators who have hunted within those timelines. We see a different champion from each timeline that eventually gets, at some point, gets abducted by the Predator aliens, and now they have to fight on the Predator. I think the Predator homeworld. They have to fight amongst each other.
We're not really sure.
Yakutia. Yeah.
Now, this was one of my problems with the movie. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's good. Yeah. It's very Predators.
There's different clans of Predators that I know of from reading other things, and so, but also so that. With this one, the fact that these three people they were all unfrozen at the same time, I was like, that's a bit of a reach for me to, I get it was for the story's sake, but it was just like, what I really wanted to know the reason why that they were all if this was a part of another lore of whatever, because we don't know what clan they were really
right now.
Right.
This and the fact that they weren't as honorable as the other ones we've seen in movies, and so I'm like, so this shouldn't be. I'm hoping it's not the same clan, because then they just tarnish the whole honor thing for them.
Well, we never got an explanation. Were more like the feral predator from Prey, like having with, like, the mandibles exposed at the bottom.
Yeah. So I'm like, That's why I'm hoping it's not the same predators that we've seen, because then nothing. The whole honor thing doesn't make any sense, really, because the fact that they capture them, even if they do win, it's But that I don't, So.
Yeah, it does seem like it's one separate clan, because, like you said, they do have the exposed mandibles, and then at the end of the series, we see I forgot her name, the character's name, from Predator Prey. She's frozen in one of the pods, so it does seem like it's the same clan that went after her.
Yeah.
So like you said,
and they took her gun back.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, all right, I don't know where this fits, because also. That gun is given to Danny Glover in Predator 2, so I'm like, I don't know. That's why I was sometimes you shouldn't connect too many of the
should just been a different gun,
different thing.
Yeah, I don't know why they do the gun again. Yeah.
I was like, I get that's cool and all, but I was like, now I'm confused.
Well, it also was weird. So what we're talking about is that on the Predator Homeworld, they're thrown into like an arena, Coliseum, gladiator style battle where they have to fight each other. They're all given a weapon, but they decide to work together. Whoever wins this battle
takes on the leader.
Takes on the clan, or whatever he is. The warrior, the head warrior. But they all decide to band together to work together so they can take them on together, get a ship, and get out of there. And one of the kids. This was my only kind of issue with that problem.
Nah, it's with in the same boat.
So like the Viking shield maiden is given an axe, which fits her timeline.
Yeah.
Obviously, the samurai is given a katana.
Yeah.
And then the kid who's abducted from World War II, who's a Latino kid from looks like it's like California or something. Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
They give him the pirate flintlock pistol. I'm like.
Well, even he looked at it like, come on, man.
I think they would know. It's like they would probably know, like, that's not from his timeline. So I was like,
I think they're fucking with him.
Probably fucking with him, yeah.
They're laughing like,
it's like, get him good, yeah. Because he's also the smallest one of them.
Yeah.
Which is what the shield maiden kind of takes pity on him for, because he is the smallest one.
Yeah. So just to back it up a bit,
yeah.
Talking about the end of the movie, but so we're it's this movie was done as kind of like no one really knew this movie was going to happen. Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey, announced he was directing Badlands, which is coming out later this year, and then like they're like, oh, and by the way, we're also going to throw in this other like animated movie, and it's like, whoa, and then so we're it's this I think the animation is stellar. It looks gorgeous. Yeah. And we're given 3 separate stories. The first one is set 400 AD. I think that's
something like Viking that. Yeah, the Viking age. Yeah, 450 or something.
And we follow a shield maiden by the name of Ursula and her son Anders going on a raid. And he's about to become a man. Like, this is his first battle where she's like, maybe you'll get some blood on your spear finally, and become a man and be. Become part of this clan kind of thing. And it's to basically kill the man that killed her father and raid the village that, and so they take, it's somewhere in the Slavic Sea, it looks like, and they go in and a beautiful sequence of just the raid and take, and she, has the double shields going, which are kind of like one side it's kind of bladed. So she is just like messing fools up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And her connection to her son is very clear in this. Like, and she says right at the beginning before they attack, like, if I die, you avenge me, which is the words her father told her.
Right.
And they go off. They finally, they go to take on the guy, the, I guess, chieftain or whatever he is of this village, and the son. Does the son stab him with the spear?
He cuts his head off.
Yeah. And there's a moment of pride, and then, of course, this conflict has brought a predator. This creature is massive. It looks a lot different than anything we've seen before. It's missing an arm. It's got like a stump hand with a concussive primed weapon instead, so it like hits out like a force shield of and I love that each chapter is labeled like this was the shield, you know, the second chapter of it is the sword, and then the bullet is the third one, and which all lines up with what they get at the end. But so, you know, you see this larger than life predator come out, and you know, she calls it Grendel, which is the creature from the, you know, Beowulf. Basically a demon. And she uses her speed and agility and knowing the terrain. And I think they do call her like the Maiden of the North Seas or something, like Sea Maiden. So, you know, she's able to realize, like, due to his size and everything, if you get him out on the ice, you know, and she like hides away and then grabs an anchor to wrap him up in to drown him, basically. Like she figures out a way to take him out, but in doing so loses her son. You know, it's pretty brutal, I think. And she doesn't seem like she gets the win, but not really. You know. Then we have the second story, which is
quickly. Sorry, I just want to give props to the voice actress. For her like guttural screams were awesome. So good.
The design of that character, everything about it, I was like, I would not fuck with this woman. And also kind of scared, kind of horny. I want kind of like both, you know.
And I like that she had damaged shields that she used as weapons. They weren't like full at first or nothing that broke away. I guess, or they broke over time and she just knew she could use them.
It's so good.
But it was a very cool weapon.
Lindsay Lavanchi.
So good.
So good. Yeah, and then you know, we go to feudal Japan for the second storyline, where we meet two brothers who are looks like apprentices under a samurai. And
I think it's their father.
Is it their father?
Yeah.
But you know, he forces them to fight against one another to take over the family, I guess, and the armor.
Only one can be shogun.
I mean, it's hard to tell because most of it is done without one single word said. This whole sequence in the center,
that was beautiful.
It's beautifully done, and like very like it's the same dialogue at the beginning of the episode of that sequence ends the episode too, with the brother talking about the leaves of a tree. You know, and just gorgeously done. You see them fight, and you know, one of the brothers, you know, says, I can't do it. I can't hurt him. So he puts his sword away. The other brother also looks like he's about to put the sword down, and then sees the disappointment on the father's face and attacks the brother, carving his face.
Yeah, it gives
give him a scar. And the other brother is kind of just like in disbelief that he was attacked. Just runs away. And then we cut to 20 years later. Their father has passed on, and the outcast brother, you see him in the fields, and he hears the gong of the death of the father, and he goes back to his home and mounts up for a full-on ninja attack. I love that. Like that whole sequence is great, and him trying to break in, like, you know, he uses stealth, and as you know, as we see the funeral pyre, and we hear, you know, we see a predator up on the battlements, and it's kind of this gaunt-looking one. It's like broad on the shoulders, but it gets very skinny.
Got that V shape going down.
He's got the V, but he's like
built the ladies,
built like a Dorito.
Oh jeez.
But you know, I think it's a very, like, you know, yet again, I like the stylized look of each predator for each time period.
Definitely.
You know,
definitely.
And so we see, you know, our ninja, you know, hide under a log and shoot out some of the guards and use stealth to get in. And then he's spotted by someone at a tower. He gets up the tower. He's trying to stop them from sounding the alarm. He takes out like 3-4 guys just to make sure that he's quiet. But then someone at another tower hits the alarm. He's like, oh shit, all right. And I don't know. Do you think he was going there intently to kill his brother?
No, I think
it was just to mark the face. Right? Like, to be like, I'm better.
It was just an accident that he fell.
Yeah, he fell through. They have a nice like sword fight where you see him use it, like the traditional samurai way of fighting versus like someone who's like, well, I'm gonna throw knives at you. I've got a heavy mace on a chain kind of deal. Like I'm gonna use everything I can against you. So I love that battle. It was great.
Yeah.
Another part of that I loved was how the beginning of that story started with them as kids under the fall tree, and that's where it kind of led to at the end there.
That's where it ended,
that was a nice little circle there.
And there's a moment in the beginning where it looks like it's autumn, so the leaves are falling.
Yeah,
and they tap swords, but it's like it's play swords.
Sticks.
Sticks. Yeah. So like they catch a leaf in between their two sticks, and then when they finally find the predator in the same area where they were kids, a leaf gets stuck in the predator's like armor while he's using his cloaking device. And that's when they attack him. That's when they him. They both swipe at him and just tear him to pieces.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I couldn't help but think about the Predator Yakuza fight.
Yeah,
and Predators.
Absolutely.
Which a lot of people hate on that movie for some reason. I think it's an awesome movie. It's a great movie. And there was a samurai versus Predator. That was the first time we saw it.
Yeah,
and it was like traditional like Bushido fighting that he was using. It was so well done, and it's again another beautifully shot scene where you see an overhead shot. They're on this grassy field, and the wind blows, and it's like this greasy grass, like kind of moving. It's beautifully shot, and how the Predator and the Yakuza stand there like
it's like a Kurosawa movie,
waiting for the other one to attack, and before they launch their assaults on each other. It's so well done.
Yeah,
and this was I love this too. It looked beautiful. But yeah, eventually the brothers kill the Predator, but one has been injured by the Predator claws, and he passes away. So, and then moves on to the Bullet.
Yeah. So the third section of the film is called The Bullet, and it's set in 1942 in the South Pacific. We see young Airman Torres, who is he was drafted out of Florida. He his father was a mechanic. And basically, his words of wisdom as he got drafted was like, you gotta, no one's gonna bail you out. You gotta listen to your heart and like, what was it? I forgot the line. It was so good though.
I think it's like I can't. You gotta bail yourself.
You gotta bail yourself out. Yeah. It's just trying to teach him to feel
like
the
engine. Will get you so far, kind of thing.
Yeah, and also like feel the engine because like it's implied that his father can like feel the engine.
Yeah.
Because he sits there and he closes his eyes and he's like, you flooded the engine.
Yeah.
Without looking at the actual engine, which comes into play later on where John Torres has to fly these planes against something we've never seen, which is a Predator that hunts using a flying.
Yeah. That's machine. I mean, it was a fun episode, but I was just like, I don't see their race like fighting with a full ship. Like they like to use their hands. And,
I mean, I think that goes back to what this clan is, which is like it seems like they're not very honorable. They don't like hem to like the traditions, which we've seen in other Predator franchises where if someone's unarmed, they're not going to attack them. Where someone has a baby, they're pregnant, they're not going to attack. We saw that in Predator 2.
Yeah.
Where if somebody's sick, they won't attack them because this is seen as dishonorable, and not a good kill. Or if somebody kills a Predator, they're shown respect and like, okay, you killed one of us,
right?
You're a fighter, respect.
Yeah.
So and also, I guess it's something different, but I guess I can see some Predators somewhere saying like, I want something else. Like I've done the foot chase thing. I've done the hunt.
And he's not using like pulse cannons.
Yeah,
he could probably just blow him out of the sky.
Exactly.
Really easy, but it's like harpooning. And
right. He's like this race is having a fight with airplanes, and I want to try and see how I can fare against them.
These guys are the best of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. I think this clan they don't have the high tech weapons that the ones we know of happen because like. All of them have been like the most advanced one in this movie was the pulse one from the first.
Right. But that was a little.
Even that was like dated tech and stuff like that.
Kind of like charge it by manually.
And
that's why it reminds me more of the feral Predator.
Yeah, from Prey,
because he had like the rail gun.
Yeah, it didn't shoot any
like
no
spikes,
lasers.
Spikes,
I mean, I think there was like light lasers to some things. But that was it. There wasn't really anything. So that's why it's just like, all right, these have to be completely different race of predators who like don't care. But the fact that they they didn't really connect to any of the from Predator 1 and 2, so it didn't matter. But I was hoping Adrian Brody was going to be in one of those
the pods.
I
thought so too.
That first one before her, I was like, is that Adrian Brody?
It looks like a human.
Yeah. And I was like, that better not. I was like, that better not be fucking Dutch.
No, seriously. Yeah, seriously.
Like, there's no way.
Naru is the Native
from
American.
Prey.
Good. From Get Prey.
If they do a sequel with animation, I hope she gets to speak her native tongue.
That'd be cool.
Because that was what was missing for Prey for me. Like I wanted to hear them.
Although they did do a dub in the Comanche though.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool, but I kind of want to see it match with their
it'd be awesome
mouth.
She's great in Novocaine. She's amazing.
That's right.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. But eventually we see that all three, I guess, champions are in suspended animation. They're all awoken. They're of course they're hundreds, if not thousands, of years apart from each other.
Yeah, so I'm wondering when did they get woken up? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it seems
there's no real knowing.
No, there's no knowing. We don't. Well, there's no way to tell.
And that's why I'm like
maybe they're the ship that landed in Los Angeles in 1992.
It could be.
No, I think that was a different one because
but they have the pistol, so
because Danny Glover would have.
You got to get that pistol somehow.
But it's also that tribe was honorable to Danny Glover. He killed one of them. They gave him a trophy.
And they're like, hey,
So who knows? Take it.
And so that's why I'm just like, okay, so maybe those don't, because obviously there was the feuding hierarchy of predators and predators.
Yeah.
So maybe it's another.
We'll see them if they do make a sequel. The original style predators versus
the one they sacrificed in the arena. I don't even know if he was.
Oh yeah.
There. Like if he was part of their clan or if he was just one.
It seems like they
looked more old school. So.
Yeah, it seems like they did that to demonstrate to the
I knew that. Yeah, but it looked like he wasn't like slicing his hand and saluting.
Right. Yeah, I kind of felt bad for him because he was all fucked up.
Yeah, he was like
his mandibles were all broken. I was like, oh, poor guy. It looks like beat the shit out of him.
Like, don't worry, your urine's coming.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna be mad because Neck is gonna make the Grendel King guy, and I'm gonna have to buy the Grendel King.
He looks dope.
That design was really.
I love the bone cape. That was so cool.
That looks dope.
It was all the tails from the aliens.
Oh,
those were alien tails.
Yeah.
It looked like there was too much structure to the tail, but I could be wrong.
It looked like it to me.
I mean, it possibly is.
Speaking of Predator 2, they had the head in the
So which
was mind blowing in the 90s. Oh no!
Yeah, that was the first inkling that we were going to get a crossover.
That's a question I wanted to bring up: was the movie the first, or was a comic book the first?
Ooh,
because I remember the '90s video games. There was Alien vs Predator.
Was what first?
Alien v Predator. To cross the alien.
Oh, it was definitely the movie.
It was the movie?
Definitely the movie. Yeah.
The comics didn't come first?
Predator 2. No, it was definitely Predator 2.
Oh, okay. I thought
because the comics started, like Dark Horse didn't start their run until after Predator 2.
Oh,
yeah, that's when they got the rights for the comic book after
that makes sense then.
Because the first Predator movie was huge, but it was like, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
And then Predator 2 came along and did that.
Right.
And that was game changing. The Predator skull. The alien skull, and that's when it was like, okay.
In Badlands, the trailer for Badlands, they've got the skull from the Independence Day alien on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They're like a little.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't want to see
that.
Not
as impactful.
Well, no, but like, I mean, did for when they did it in the 1992 one, did they approach like Ridley or anyone and be like, "Hey, is this okay?"
No, I think
because it was a Fox property.
I know,
I don't think Ridley owns it.
Tip of the hat. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, like, to say, "Oh, this is canon now," like
yeah. And I think that was why, and like I said, that it was huge at the time. That's what started. And then after that's when they started doing a lot. Dark Horse started their comic line after that, and that's when they were like, carte blanche to whatever build up this lore. So thank God they gave it to Dark Horse too. That was so cutting edge and so ahead of its time. So ahead of its time, dude.
And the storytelling was great.
So good. Yeah. Oh, so good, man.
Too bad it didn't make it into those movies.
I know. No, seriously. I still, and I've talked about it at the podcast before, I still want to see the Predator Total War series that came out. I think that's what it's called. When he's hunting in a prison.
Oh yeah, you've told us a lot.
And the prisoner, like, of course we have in prison. There's a lot of racial segregation amongst prisoners. They do it themselves. There's black prisoners, white, they don't Latino prisoners, and they don't interact at all. They stay within their own groups, and race war. That's what it's called. Excuse me, race war. And there are race wars in prison, but the predator starts picking people off inside the prison, like serial killers and like members of their leadership.
Oh, wow.
And so all the prisoners have to get together to like prison shank the predator, and then like they lure him into a trap, and it's this great panel.
Walter Goggins.
It's a great panel where like all
the shower room.
Yeah, dude, it's basically
you drop the soap.
Yeah, but they
batteries in a sock.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying that, but it's what's happened. There's a great panel where like there's like multiple prisoners jumping on the predator, and they got like razor wire. They're shanking him with like prison shanks.
Jesus.
They got like the batteries and the socks and
man.
shit. It's all the weapons they have,
Yeah.
And he's just like slicing through them as they're trying to shank his head.
Right.
It's so and it's there's another great scene where panel where the black prisoners and the white prisoners are separated in the chow hall, and they slowly turn to each other, and they stand up, and the prison guard's like, oh, here we go, it's going to be a race war, and they kind of shake hands. The next thing is they're shaking hands because they're okay. We got to take this thing out. Who's hunting us? Because guards don't give a shit.
Yeah,
it's so well done. I want to see this movie.
Is it now? Quick question on the comic though: is there like at least a page or so disbelief that it's an alien?
So because at first.
Or I don't even know what year
this is supposed to be in the 90s. Yeah, that's when the comic came out. So at first the prisoners think it's other prisoners taking each other out. So there's a building race war between them because like black prisoners being killed, white prisoners. Yeah. So it's like obviously this can only be done, and they're being hung upside down on this shit. So the guards are like, you guys are animals. We don't give a shit. Like you kill yourselves. Don't involve us in it, basically.
Yeah.
And eventually somebody sees the predator doing it, and like there's something here hunting us, and and each side is like denying that they killed the other.
Like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. So all the prisoners just gang up on him in one scene, and he's just like slicing through them, and they're just like they're just shanking him with like prison shivs. It's so good.
Is he like a traditional
predator?
Okay.
Traditional predator. Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. He looks like the jungle predator.
Yeah.
With like the bird skull necklace.
Yeah. Old school design.
The netting and it's so well done, dude.
Because like when they become different sizes, it's like how are they hiding right there?
Right.
Like in the first part, like right before the sun slices off the guy's head, and he's like, how did they not hear that big guy's footsteps?
Right,
right. But I mean, it's whatever. It's it's
exaggerated.
Yeah, it's exaggerated.
You said you had a problem with the size of the.
I just thought he was too huge.
Yeah.
Like to a point where it's like.
Edema protein, bro.
I mean,
Well, there was that predator who I also think looked ridiculous in. The Predator?
Yeah, the Mega Predator.
Where he slams that other Predator on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know that was like...
This guy's too big, dude.
That was like a science
he's
experiment.
like genetically...
And he's called the Berserker one, but I was like... Obviously, those didn't exist initially, so if these are older Predators, I was like, this one is so large, like... I mean, I don't know how the hierarchy would work if he's that big. You'd think he'd be the leader of his.
He's not the brightest predators.
I mean,
he was
he lost his hand. It's worth it, But it's just like he's just wearing a loincloth. Like I don't know. He didn't seem as very bare bone. I mean, he seemed bare bone. No armor really either.
None.
So it was just like, okay, this is. Yeah, I don't know. There was just part of me. I was like, I don't really believe that this one is. Like, it should be a predator because it was just too. Yeah, it was just too big for me. I was like, this is the first one we've seen, and we've seen the different size one. Like, the obviously there's one's a little bit bigger than the regular. Predators
the wolf predators from Predators.
Predators, where they're like. Because the
about a foot predator. Taller,
regular is like 7-8 feet, and then they're about a foot taller or so. So that's why I was like, this one's just like the Hulk, and I was like. There's no way huge, anyone's defeating this predator with small weapons. And so I was like, whatever. But that's the thing with if the lore isn't really explored, you can, and it's cool. You could do anything, but then it gets confusing after a while.
Yeah.
It's like I would have loved to see in each of those stories if on their armor you saw like their clan tattoo or something.
The sigil.
Because I didn't know if those 3 predators worked with each other. Like.
It seems like it's heavily implied that they're definitely in the same clan because they're all kidnapped.
Well, yeah, that's
shown
later. But like, if they weren't, like, did they like? Oh, there was a guy who is that spread through the Predator.
That's
wire?
what I thought too at first.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, let's go collect these. I heard they beat this Predator.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Like I'm wanting to know more, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm also like, so wait, is there only one? Is this like the king of all predators, or is this just?
It just seemed for a clan.
Yeah. So that's what I.
Yeah.
But and the main thing for me, I was like, I heard it maybe a little bit in some of the themes, but I was like, I wanted that main theme, like.
Yeah, I was hoping for it too.
But
yeah.
I think I did hear it in the first part or the second part where they kind of twisted the theme to meet the time period.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. But at the end, when the Grendel King one just goes, let's go hunting, I was like, I wanted that theme to come back.
That's what I thought they were going to do it. Yeah.
You know, I was like, missed opportunity.
Yeah,
missed opportunity.
Big time. I mean, it's enjoyable. I liked it. The animation was beautiful, well written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was great. It was well done.
It was like Walking Dead video game animation.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Justin. He gave me tickets to go see it early, but I wasn't able. It's first come, first serve, and I was able. The only seats left were like way at the bottom. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like,
for this?
Yeah, for. They showed it at the Egyptian Theater.
That's cool.
Like I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And Justin, through his membership of the Egyptian, was able to get 2 seats, and he wasn't able to go, so he gave them to me. And I just got there too late because I was just too tired, and I got there, and it was just there was like no seats left. I was like, yeah, I'm all right.
I forgot they did that with Prey, right? The Egyptian. I think
I
there was one
so.
showing.
Yes, I believe so.
Because it was only released digitally.
Right. Speaking of the comic book, I had to look it up real quick, but a run that I really loved in the 90s was Aliens vs. Predator, Deadliest of the Species.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which was, I mean, it's centered around a small girl who is actually adopted by the Predator race. She was left alive after a slaughter and, is raised by them to learn their ways. And then, like, Earth gets infected, by aliens, and, like, basically it becomes, like, kind of Land of the Dead, where it's, like, there's a skyscraper filled with people and just aliens all around, and she comes down with her clan to kind of cleanse it. And
it's really good,
really good.
It's really good. She has like the dreadlocks.
I kind of want that to happen.
That'd be awesome. Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And she has the mark of her clan on her forehead. Remember that? Yeah. It's so well done, dude. Yeah, it's so well, and they have her fight like young predators.
Yeah,
to like kind of like beef her up. Yeah, it's really well done, dude. Yeah.
It's it'd be great.
Yeah, it's really well done.
And Anna Armas could do it. No,
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could turn. Well, I guess she's too old for the girl from Prey.
Yeah,
if like they raise
there you go.
Actually, it's not a bad idea.
But I think her character, age-wise, is too old to be like inducted into their clan
and their culture. Yeah,
and their culture. Yeah.
So. I mean, there's a bunch of Dark Horse stuff out there that's so well that I wish that they would delve more into.
Newt. So it'll cross over with aliens, and then they get Newt, and then they'll raise Newt to be.
So we're completely disregarding Alien 3.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
She didn't really die.
They stole her corpse and they revived it with.
That's it. There you go.
With a Predator pacemaker.
There you go.
Which pisses me off because like. Have you heard of some of the stuff that's like they had in store originally for Alien?
Yeah.
Like they released the novelization of the original screenplay. It's really good, dude. And they did comic books too.
Yeah.
It's really good. I was like, damn, dude. But of course, studio stepped in.
It's just well. Also, I think the original budgeted story would have cost like way too much.
Well, like Ridley just was. I think they were talking to him in some interview, and recently he was just saying, "It's like the first one was so iconic; it should have been just as iconic as Star Wars." And then Jim did a great job, and then he was like, the ones they did after were just not good. And I was like, I mean, I mean, it sucks that he says that about his creation, but it's just like he thinks it should have been on the same level as Star Wars. But
I feel bad because like Fincher has kind of like, even David Fincher, who directed the third one, is kind of like. Never like he doesn't like that movie at all. He hates even talking about the experience. It was something that he's
because he was constantly finding the studio.
He was just a nightmare for him to make because they thought, "Oh, we're gonna bring in this hotshot new director."
Who He's never the fourth one.
It was French director who did Amélie.
That's right. His name is right on the tip of my tongue too. Like a Predator. I mean.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
That's it.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Yeah.
But yeah, even Fincher, he like the studio thought, oh, we'll hire this 20-year-old kid, who just did music videos at that point, and we can kind of bully him to do whatever we want,
right? Because he's cheap, yeah.
And it's like the guy. I mean, like now we all know the guy's a visionary.
Yeah.
So you should just let him run
just
with
do
it.
His thing, dude. Yeah, of course. But they were so worried about the budget and it's going to make money if you let because it was coming off of Predator 2. I mean, Aliens 2, which everybody loved.
Right. And at this point, Sigourney had so much power as well.
Yeah.
She was executive producer on it. She had a lot of story ideas that she wanted to implement.
Although some of them would have been a little weird because I think she wanted to have sex with the alien.
Yeah,
I was like,
did.
Maybe not.
That would have been a little weird to see.
Yeah.
You kind of saw that in Resurrection.
Yeah.
She went very cozy with the xenomorphs.
Pretty cozy, yeah.
But hey, I mean, we got a muscular version of Sigourney Weaver, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, she badass in that.
Yeah,
she made that 3-pointer shot.
Ron Perlman almost destroyed the take.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, because she got it in like one shot, and he was like, "Holy fuck!" and like,
he yelled it.
Yeah, they had to they cut it right before he said it.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's great. But yeah, I mean, Killers, recommend it.
Recommend it.
I don't know if they're gonna do a sequel. It's Hulu, so who knows?
But, they left it open ended, and then we got Badlands coming out later this year, so it might connect to it. We don't know.
Yeah.
Mondo, give me that ultimate Grendel King figure.
Oh man,
please, pretty please.
Yeah, the thing was gorgeous.
Yeah. I'm interested in checking out Badlands too. We'll see. A lot of people are making fun of how the Predator looks. I know he's young.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I hope they somehow fit in the Boss's song Badlands. Bruce Springsteen, the Boss.
The Boss.
Badlands.
Well, you're from Jersey, so you got to give him.
Yeah,
you got to call him the Boss by law.
Yeah,
by law you have to call him the Boss.
I wasn't sure if you guys knew, so I had to say Bruce.
I know he is,
but the Boss.
But I'm not from Jersey, so I'm not required to call him the Boss. You are, so
I am.
Yeah, by law.
By law.
By Jersey law.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's on his birth certificate.
Yeah, it's on his. Yeah, you were required to call the Bruce Springsteen the Boss.
They legally send tickets to you in the mail if you don't say the Boss.
Well, it's like how John Hammond is there for every birth of a raptor. The bosses are in Jersey for every birth of a child. I'm the boss to you, baby.
Yeah.
Let me sing a lullaby.
Next.
Boss. That's a baby's first word in Jersey. The boss.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
So you guys, anything else you need to talk about?
No. That's it's pretty tight week.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on. So
and we're supposed to hopefully soon. We're gonna record an RPG tabletop game, Jurassic Park themed. To coincide with the upcoming Jurassic Park movie. So,
next month we got Jurassic Park, Superman coming out.
Oh yes,
Fantastic Four.
So big stuff.
Big stuff coming out.
Hopefully they all knock it out of the park.
I got my tickets for 28 Years Later next Friday.
Next Friday. Yep.
And then this weekend I will be at Hellmouth Con, which is down at Torrance High School, which is I guess the unofficial Buffy the Vampire Slayer convention. And I say unofficial because it doesn't seem like they can call themselves BuffyCon,
right?
So they went with Hellmouth Con, but it's at the school too. It's at Torrance Torrance High School where they filmed
the show,
the first 3 seasons of them being in high school.
Are you gonna wear your Dracula outfit?
Yep, my Dracula. No, because it'd
be funny.
First of all,
it'd be funny.
First of all, it's a little warm.
Just walking around going blah.
Well, no, you don't have to wear the full getup. Maybe just the floofy shirt.
The cravat.
The cravat. Sorry,
that's true.
I didn't know the word. Yeah. And then the cape.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. It's a little warm, so we'll see. Julie will be wearing a full length dress with quotes from every season of the show, and I think she'll have buttons for people who if they read the quote and they get it right.
Take some pictures of them.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll throw it on the Instagram.
Yeah, and a lot of the not James Marsden. The guy plays Spike. I'm blanking out his name now.
James Marsters.
James Marsters. Yeah,
yes. It's close.
Yeah, he has a band.
What's it called? Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a band, and he's going to be performing Friday night at I think a bar somewhere. So we'll go watch that.
Ghost of the Robot?
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
I've seen them live many times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
They're very good.
They're good? Okay, good. Yeah, I've never heard them play. So
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing that live Friday night, and then Saturday, Sunday's the con. So,
nice.
it's going to be fun. Nice. We went last year. A lot of fun. Not too much cosplay. Again, it's kind of work. It's at the school itself, which is pretty cool. So they have most of the classrooms and the gym open for like vendors and the panels.
It's hard in the summer, man.
That's hot. It's hot, dude. So, but
do they have speakers playing the theme song from Buffy?
No, they don't. That'd be awesome though. I think it'd get a little annoying after a while.
I mean, maybe like every other hour, just
that'd be awesome. It'd be cool. That'd be good. Like, once every hour or something.
Or
like that.
at least a booth where you can kind of act out the intro to where you turn to the camera and it's your title name.
You know what would be a really like good cosplay for the heat though is if you did like Xander and Anya from the musical episode where they're wearing like just the pajamas.
There you go.
They're like silky pajamas. That'd be nice and cool.
Good idea. Yeah, last year was a 1-day con. It was over, but I think this time they'll have a lot more to do. So it was fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you have a good time.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And then I'll be at Disneyland for Pride Night Monday.
Right on.
So I'll tell you guys how that goes. Julie's aunt is coming out, and so she's coming out to Los Angeles, and she wants to do Pride Night with us. So she invited us. So yeah, we're gonna go. And first time ever doing any kind of themed event at Disney.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So
nice.
Yeah. Take us out, Chad.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and catching another episode of Enter the Nerdom. And for all you newcomers, thanks for following us.
Thanks, guys. Yes,
listening, and hope you continue to stick around because there's more to come. And if you haven't already, like us on the other socials, the Twitter, the YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah, please rate, review, put a comment on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. I'm slowly dumping episodes.
That would be great. Yeah, we're just all new on there. We're putting up, I think we're almost at 60 episodes on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we're at 54 right now. I'm dumping episodes, trying to do it every day.
Thank you, Stan, again for uploading all that.
Dedicating.
I wish I could go faster, but it takes a long time for the computer to render an episode.
We want excuses around here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm Stan Fred.
There you go.
I'll do this.
Oh shit! But please reach out and rate and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes, and as we always say here, enter the nerddom, exit the nostalgic Wick. Predatorverse. I was like, what was the thing we talked about? For the past 30 minutes. Bye, buddy.